everything's changed in the game, and it's more of a fatigue game for these goalies now. And if you don't have two legitimate guys that can play 40 to 60 starts in a year, then you're probably not going to be very good. You know, the days of Brodeur playing 70-plus starts for 10 years in a row, we're not seeing that anymore. That's over.
Pierre, what is the ingredient, or what are the ingredients for the home team to be able to sort of overcome that trend that the road teams seem to be better suited, for success? I mean, right now in the East, the road teams are 10-6. So what's the dynamic there? What is it about the matchup of road versus home and the environment and everything that makes this the case?
Really important to get a lead, keep the crowd in it, which is really important on home ice, obviously, and it allows you to maintain your game plan for longer stretches of time. If you fall behind, especially on home ice, you got to open up, and that usually leads to odd man rushes against, and that usually dampens the spirit of your crowd. So it's really important to, number one, get a lead. Number two, maintain your game plan as long as possible. Number three, don't ice the puck a lot, because on home ice, if you do that, you lose the ability to have last change, because the other team can kind of dictate the matchup terms. And one of the most important things, Paul, be physical without taking penalties on home ice, because if you do that, a good hit, just like a great save and an awesome goal, they all matter, and they get the crowd involved, and people aren't sitting on their hands. So be physical without taking penalties. If you do all those things I just said, your chance of winning on home ice really good.
Great stuff from Pierre Maguire again, and we will be talking to you again, Pierre, before Game 6. Enjoy Game 5.
Thank you, sir. I look forward to it. Take care. Enjoy the night, everybody.
That's Pierre Maguire with all the details on how to win on home ice, because those road teams, they kind of hunker down and play that defensive style. You've got to be patient, and you got to do all the things Pierre said. We'll be back with more, as we'll have Dan Muse and his musings on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Hey, everybody, this is Sebastian Maniscalco. Come to Sebastian Maniscalco's Comedy Radio to hear the Sebastian Maniscalco Show, as well as comedians who inspired me, up-and-coming talent, and the introduction of DJ Marinara playing my favorite dance tunes I grew up to. My exclusive 24/7 comedy channel is up and running. Channel 99, and on the Sirius XM app.
Feel the pulse-pounding drama of the UEFA Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC. The stakes are raised as Europe's elite.
Fantastic start for PSG. The Bayern Beauty Machine is on the roll again. Arsenal are running riot in North London.
Battle in a quest for club soccer's ultimate prize.
This is the place where dreams come true.
This is where legends are made. The Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
There's nothing like playoff hockey, and nobody gets you closer to the ice than Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Our experts get you ready for each matchup.
The Edmonton Oilers can outscore any mistakes in this series.
And interviews with the league's heavy hitters.
John Cooper, head coach of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
I love listening to you guys in the morning.
It's hockey talk all day, and the top playoff games every night. Stay connected to the quest for the cup on NHL Network Radio, Channel 91 in the car, and on the Sirius XM app.
The Power Play with Steve Coulias.
Of all the players who were drafted in 2019, which player has scored the most goals in the fewest games? Cole Caulfield. Size does matter. You don't want a team of 5'9" defensemen. But scoring goals is the hardest thing to do in sports. And Cole Caulfield scores a lot of goals.
The Power Play with Steve Coulias. Weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, your neighborhood Ford store. Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs are the official vehicles of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now it's time for Muse's Musings.
The Flyers have scored a shorthanded goal in this series. They've had plenty of shorthanded opportunities, a couple of more in Game 4, and they're getting them also at even strength, and Dan Muse talked about that today.
We have seen some in the last couple of games, but, based on the way that they play, and this isn't just this series, this is going back to, I think really Philly, how they've been playing since the Olympic break. Like, they don't give up a lot off the rush. And And so I think there's certain teams in the league, and there's others that we played against this year as well, that, it was a similar type of feel as you work through the neutral zone, that there's going to be numbers back. And that's where it's a little bit of you got to take what the game gives you. And if the game's not going to give you the rush chances, you got to find ways to create other opportunities. And so I think we've been starting to do a better job there of just that, taking what the game gives us, just I think situational awareness, recognizing their numbers, recognizing the space, and then it's executing to be able to set ourselves up so we can be playing on offense.
Igor Chinakhov still needs a goal. Tommy Novak still needs a goal. Anthony Mantha still needs a goal. And he'll talk to the old 2-9er next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Dear team, thanks for showing up for me with the best face paint and taunting the other team in the kindest way. For standing on your seat when I need the support and screaming until your throat hurts because you know it makes a difference. For wearing my number. For being the best teammates a player could ask for. At Highmark, we're proud to be cheering alongside the best teammates. Fans like you. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Official health plan of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
2026-27 Penguin season tickets are on sale now, and you have to be here. Purchase a full or half-season package today to guarantee priority access to 2026 Stanley Cup playoff tickets. These Penguins have flipped the script on expectations for this season. Finds Crosby, Panther zone, he scores! Act now to make sure you're here to witness them write the next chapter of their storied history. Visit PittsburghPenguins.com to secure your season membership today.
This is Labatt, brewed for the hockey fans who yell, shoot it from the cheap seats, and scream, ref, you suck, like it ever worked. You pound on the glass, spill your beer, and still act like you're running the power play. But hockey wouldn't be hockey without fans like you and a Labatt in hand. Labatt, we're brewed for the roast. Enjoy responsibly. Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York.
Kelly's Riverside Saloon has 350 Labatt Blue bottles during all Penguins games.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became the best-selling trucks in America. 33 million trucks later, we've kept that title every year since. And that's a formula we plan on repeating. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. The best-selling trucks in America for 49 years and counting. Based on 1977 to 2025 calendar year industry reported total sales.
This is the Pittsburgh Penguins Hockey Network. This copyrighted broadcast is the property of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Any rebroadcast or reproduction of all or part of this broadcast, or any descriptions or accounts of this game therein without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Penguins is strictly prohibited.
Captain of the Montreal Canadiens, Nick Suzuki, and we're joined with Sidney Crosby. Boko Mama. Panthers forward, Brad Marchand, joined now by Jackie Redmond.
Time for 2 minutes with the old 2-9er. Brought to you by your Pittsburgh area Lexus dealers. Experience amazing.
Welcome to Mr. Old 2-9er. Here we go. Game number 5, Pens and Flyers 2026 Stanley Cup Playoffs. Joined by Penguins forward Anthony Mantha. Mo, I want to ask you if you feel like something that you did in game number 4 to help you win that game is something that you can carry over to game number 5 here.
I think our team was desperate. Obviously, our backs against the wall. Everyone knows it. Everyone knew it. And just the way we came out, we played hard. We played physical between the whistles, and we played some good hockey.
Do you feel like the tide has kind of changed? It's funny how the playoff series goes. Like, I don't know about momentum from game to game, but when you win just one game, do you feel like the belief is on your side and maybe they're doing a little bit of the what if?
It's only one game. We're still desperate right now. They're still winning the series 3-1, but we need to have the same mentality, the belief that we can win this game. Right now, it's a one game tonight that we need to win, bring it back to Philly, and that's really what we're focused on, and our mentality is focused on right now.
Do you feel like one of maybe the adjustments you made was getting more pucks on the net on Dan Vladar and making him make the saves and making him control those rebounds?
Yeah. It's hard. I mean, they're a good team. They're blocking a lot of shots right now. we're just trying to find the lanes, trying to put pressure, and if there is a breakdown, maybe trying to bringing it to the net a little quicker. But like I said, they're doing a great job in front of him, and we need to continue and test him as much as we can.
I know you want to say it's kind of just another game. It's hockey, right? But playoff hockey is a different level. Your grandfather, Andre Pronovo, won 4 Stanley Cups. Is there something that maybe he's told you in the past that maybe you can use this time of year?
I mean, he always told me it's the 3 T's in French. It's basically translates to work, tenacity, and your talent's going to show. That's something he's always focused on throughout my junior career and NHL career. And then the other thing is when I do shoot the puck, Maurice Richard told him the puck needs to go through the netting. So that's something maybe I need to get back to and shoot more pucks and shoot for that puck to go through the net.
Good advice. Thanks for this, Mo. Listen, it takes 16 wins to win the Stanley Cup. You got 1 in the bank. Go get number 2 against the Flyers.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, that's Anthony Mantha, and you're 2 minutes with the Old Niner. Enjoy the hockey.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, because life. Now it is time for the Highmark Injury Update.
Interesting. The Flyers have blocked 68 shots in this series so far. The Penguins have blocked 45, and you know that the Penguins have missed the net quite a bit, especially back in Game 2, so they'll want to get pucks down near the net if they can. If they're not going to, hit the net itself on shots, they definitely want to get pucks in an area where they can do something with them. And Anthony Mantha makes a good point about shooting the puck through the net. I think he probably would be better served if he shot that puck really hard and maybe blew it by the goaltender here tonight. I think he might get his first goal tonight of the series. By the way, no injuries to speak of. Philip Hollander still out for the Penguins, and the Powerball jackpot is $130 million. You must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly at your local retailer or online. And, of course, the PA Lottery benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. Coming up, the old 2-9er joins Joe Brand for the call of the game. Game 5 coming up on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Attention Penguins fans, are you ready to make a difference? Join the sustainability movement with Indra Energy, a proud partner of the Penguins Pledge. Choose Indra Energy's renewable energy plan and join the movement to help combat climate change. Your electricity usage will be paired with renewable energy certificates from electricity sources like wind and solar, which may help reduce your carbon footprint. In 1 year alone, Indra Energy customers prevented thousands of tons of carbon from entering the Earth's atmosphere. Sign up today at indraenergy.com. Conditions apply. The Penguins have flipped the script on expectations this season, and now it's time for playoff hockey. Tickets are on sale now. Here's your chance to be there as they write the next chapter of history.
Crosby sends it high slot, hustling Carlson, keeps it onside. Brister down low. They score! Evgeny Malkin with the touch in on the far side. It's his 1400th career point.
Make sure you're in the building for every moment and secure your seats now at PittsburghPenguins.com.
Tired of the cold and shoveling snow? Same. This year, make an easy escape from winter by switching to S&T Bank. With online and mobile banking, you're always in control. Set savings goals, track your budget, and transfer funds faster than you can say, "Pina colada, please." With convenient locations and ATMs, we'll make planning your next tropical trip a breeze. Stop by your local S&T branch, visit stbank.com, or call 800-325-2265. Banking made easy so you can spend more time in the sun. S&T Bank, member FDIC.
As the Pens face the Flyers, we're inviting fans to take this rivalry off the ice and into the community. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital is hosting a Pittsburgh versus Philly fundraising challenge through the St. Jude Walks on October 3rd, with fans in both cities raising critical funds to help kids fighting cancer and other life-threatening diseases. Every dollar makes a difference, and families never receive a bill from St. Jude. Join the Pittsburgh team and support this great cause at stjude.org/walkpittsburgh.
Penguins have it. There it is, Crosby. He gets the goal. His second. And you can slap me, silly Cindy.
You can spit shine your shoes, baby. The Penguins are going to go dancing with Lord Stanley once again.
Now Chinakhov finds Crosby, Panther zone. He scores! A rifling shot from Sidney Crosby. It's 21 straight for the captain and a new NHL record. Crosby sends it high slot, hustling Carlson, keeps it onside. Wrister down low, they score! Evgeny Malkin with the touch-in on the far side. It's his 1400th career point. A sprawling save by Stuart Skinner. The Penguins goaltender lunged out front from right to left, and it's a 3-goal lead to likely ice a 3-year playoff drought.
The Pittsburgh Penguins Radio Network proudly presents the Stanley Cup Playoffs. The Penguins Radio Network is presented by S&T Bank and brought to you in part by Number One Cochrane, Go One Better, by IC Light, by McDonald's, providing you the official burger of the Pittsburgh Penguins, by Get-Go Cafe and Market, Get-Go, where the Pens go, by Coca-Cola, founding partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins, by Clearview Federal Credit Union, helping people enjoy a better life, and by Indra Energy, an official Penguins Pledge champion partner. Playoff hockey begins now.
With their backs to the wall, the Penguins have brought this opening round of the Stanley Cup playoffs back to Pittsburgh. But that desperation needs to continue tonight to push the series back to Philly. In search of their first home playoff win in almost 4 years, some Penguins, including Evgeny Malkin, are hoping that tonight isn't the final time in this building as a Penguin. Welcome in, Penguins fans, and welcome back to PPG Paints Arena. Alongside the old 2-9er Phil Bourque, I'm Joe Brand. It's Game 5 of Round 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Borky, the Penguins have kept this candle burning and brought the series back to the west side of the state. But the Philadelphia Flyers have won the last 3 games in this building. How do the Penguins keep momentum on their side in their home here tonight?
Good to be back with you, Joe, and that's a good question. I think they just have to play the simple game that they played in game number 4. Getting the lead is huge. I mean, I know it's such an obvious thing. First goal, get the lead. But the Penguins had a 2-goal lead twice in game number 4, and that matters because the Philadelphia Flyers in the first 3 games, I felt they kind of dictated the terms. They dictated the way the game was going to be played, and the Penguins were more reactive than proactive. So I think here on their home ice, listen, it's going to be tough to beat the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now, 4 straight times? They're trying to beat the Penguins 4 straight times in their house. I think the Penguins found something. They unlocked something in game number 4. Now, can they stick to it? Can they stay simple in front of their own fans? Because being on the road, and both teams are really good road teams, give some credit to the Flyers. They were a good road team during the regular season and obviously the first 2 games. But it's up to the Penguins to, right from the start, to play hockey, right? That's what the Penguins want to play hockey. Because when it gets taken in the back alley, Joe, that's a benefit, I think, for the Flyers, but they have a tough time playing that back alley hockey when they're down in the game. Either it's a 1-goal or 2-goal deficit.
A big reason why the Penguins were able to have multiple 2-goal leads in Game 4 against the Flyers is because of their goaltender, Artur Shelovs. He replaced Stuart Skinner, not because Skinner played out of that position, but because it was time for a change. Now Artur Shelovs, who has plenty of playoff experience under his belt, is looking for his second win with the Penguins in the postseason. What'd you like about his game in Game 4?
Everything about this game. And listen, when it comes to the playoffs, all bets are off. Forget about egos, forget about hard feelings, and don't get me wrong, I don't think that Stuart Skinner had any of that. I think he's got the pom-poms out more than anybody else in this building for Artur Shelovs. That's the kind of teammate he is. But at the end of the day, it was 3 straight losses. And so you've got a guy, what an ace in the hole to have this guy here, and it's a benefit. They've been going back and forth all year. This is no big deal to Artur Shelovs and Stuart Skinner. So I think for Artur Shelovs, I loved his post-game interview. He was just talking about, he just his joy, the word joy he used. He was just having fun. You know, he didn't feel the stress or the pressure, or if we lose this game, our season's over. He was like, no, I am going to absolutely give my best. And he was confident, is positionally sound, he was athletic, and he understood the temperature of the game. And I would expect the Flyers probably to crash in that a little bit more, try to bump him a little bit more. So it's up to Shelovs to stay composed, but also the Penguins defensemen to protect that blue crease and protect their goaltender.
Shelovs with a little emotion in Game 4. tapping sticks with Porter Martone, getting in the face of Trevor Zegras at the end of the game. But back to your point between Skinner and Shelovs, I feel like it's been their relationship that has helped both of them succeed so much this year. In fact, Skinner gave Artur Shelovs the game helmet, the steel mill helmet that the Penguins pass around in the dressing room after the game. You don't often see that with NHL teams. These two goaltenders so locked in, such a good relationship with each other, and it's a big reason why I think they're able to pass the baton so well this year. Another guy back in the lineup, Ilya Solovyov, who came in to make his playoff debut for Game 4, paired up with Ryan Shea once again. What does he bring to this game that earns him another start here tonight?
Well, the Belarusian was solid, and he's a big body. He likes to play physical. He's 6'3", 210. Now, I'd like to see him get in double digits. He only played around 8 minutes. I'd like to see him get into double digits. Obviously, special teams plays a role in how much he plays. But here's the thing about Solovyov. He knows what he can do, but more importantly, he knows what he can't do. So he plays a simple game, but that's all you need right now. You just need a rock solid, and that third pair with Ryan Shea, defend hard, play physical, get under the other team's skin. And when it comes to handling the puck, whether it's in the defensive zone or offensive zone, Murphy dump, off the glass and out. If you don't have a clean play, don't turn the puck over. And then the offensive zone, everything in deep, everything at the goal. Just keep it simple. You're a good hockey player, and just be that anchor on that third pair.
You've seen Sidney Crosby in this type of environment multiple times. Just work as usual for the captain right now?
Yeah. I believe he'll go next level again. I think that's where Sid's at right now. Is he, again, I talked about the Penguins unlocking something. I think that Sid has unlocked something. Him and Sanheim have gone after each other right from shift one, puck drop one of game one. And I think now Sid is like, I've had enough of you. So I'm going to push back. You're going to mess with the bull here. And you're really stirring something. That's the fine line you walk when you're Travis Sanheim. To be physical against Sidney Crosby. Am I too physical where I've ticked him off with a little bit of the Michael Jordan stuff? You get him into this zone, and we'll see if that happens here. But I saw a different Sidney Crosby in game number 4. We'll see if it carries over here tonight.
All right, partner. Great to have you back. Game 5. Let's have some fun.
Let's go.
That's the old 2-9er, Phil Bourque. Our starting lineups are presented by Clearview Federal Credit Union. Financial advice is closer than you think. The entire lineup for the Penguins, the same as game 4. And Dan Muse is going with his top line to start this one of Ricard Raquel, Sidney Crosby, and Brian Rust. Parker Wotherspoon and Eric Carlson are the starting D pair, with Artur Shelovs making his second straight start after earning the win. The Penguins' first win of this opening round playoff series Saturday night in Philadelphia. For Rick Tockett's Philadelphia Flyers, he continues with the fourth line to start this one off of Luke Glendening, Sean Couturier, the captain, and Garnett Hathaway. Travis Sanheim and Rasmus Ristolainen are the top defensive pair, and Dan Vladar in net for the Philadelphia Flyers. After suffering the loss Saturday night in Philly, he makes his 5th straight appearance in this series. It's a playoff hockey night in Pittsburgh. The Penguins have fought their way back to Game 5 and now trying to do the same for Game 6. It's rocking here at PPG Paints Arena once again. We'll have puck drop for you after this. It's all here on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Hey, Pittsburgh fans, this is Phil Bourque. In hockey, big goals cause big momentum shifts. As we all know, our Penguins have scored a lot of big goals. As a founding partner of the Penguins, PPG also likes big goals and is pursuing them off the ice to better the Pittsburgh community and the world. Together with the Penguins, PPG increases access to free STEM education through the annual Science at Play and Sticks and STEM events at PPG Paints Arena. We like big goals because when we score them, we all win.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
The fastest game on ice. Next Schmaltz, he's in. Schmaltz to Stella, he scores!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
It takes all of us to take action and bring awareness to create a better community and environment. Penguins Pledge brings together key Penguins business partners with a common goal to create a more environmentally conscious community. Together with our Pledge Impact partners, Davey Tree, Exelitas, Duquesne Light Company, Kimberly-Clark, and WM, Penguins Pledge is a commitment to a better and more sustainable Pittsburgh. Learn more at PittsburghPenguins.com/Penguins Pledge.
In Pittsburgh, champions aren't just born, they're built. And NSS Life has been part of that winning legacy for decades.
We've stood with the city's champions on and off the field.
Building futures that are strong, secure, and built to last.
NSS Life is proud to be part of Pittsburgh's past and your future.
NSS Life, the official life insurance company of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
NSS Life, where family matters.
We're all set for playoff hockey here at PPG Paints Arena back in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. As the Pittsburgh Penguins continue to fight for their playoff lives, Game 5 of the opening round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and they're down 3-1 in this series against their in-state rival, the Philadelphia Flyers. How's it going, Penguins fans? Alongside the old 2-9er Phil Bourque, I'm Joe Brand. We are just thrilled to have you here with us tonight as the Penguins look to earn another day in the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs, hoping to force a Game 6 in Philadelphia coming up on Wednesday night. The Penguins are back home where they played 20-13-8 this season inside this building. The Philadelphia Flyers, a very good road team this year, and already with 2 road wins in this series, 23-14-4 during the regular season. The Penguins are attacking from left to right, and their alternate third gold sweaters with Artur Shilovs in net. The Philadelphia Flyers attacking from right to left. Drop of the puck. We're underway here in Pittsburgh. Opening faceoff is brought to you by number 1 Cochrane Club 1 Rewards. Earn points and save money with every dollar spent on service. Flyers work it down to the Penguin zone. They're attacking from right to left. Spun up the boards at the near point. Sanheim a drive. Stopped by Parker Wotherspoon, and then a turnaround shot by Goaltending. Luckily went wide of the net.
That shot hit Wotherspoon. It hurt him, and he couldn't move. He was kind of just flat-footed down on one knee, and he just really couldn't move to get to a loose puck that was about 8 feet away from him. He's getting looked at now at the Penguins bench.
Meanwhile, the Penguins in the neutral zone get it to Chinikov. He'll tap it back to Sam Girard. This crowd was eagerly waiting for a return to this building after dropping the first 2 games of the series as a dump-in goes into the Flyer bench. Not even a minute into this hockey game.
Whoa. It's getting Malkin. Jeez, Gino. He just took a puck and he flipped it into the Flyers bench. Oh, yeah, Gino. Oh, man, he's really lucky. Man, is he lucky he did not get called for unsportsmanlike there. And it actually hit the assistant coach. I couldn't see to the left of Rick Tocchet. It hit the assistant coach right in the chest. Oh, man.
I believe that's Jay Verardi.
Yeah.
So the face-off in front of the Flyers bench.
Out goes Novak.
Malkin will replace Novak, and the Flyers win the draw. Penguins have been the only team to score in the first period in this series. They did it in each of the last 2 games, both times on the power play. Flyers have a Penguin zone. Konechny down to the near corner. It's in on net. Shilovs with a stop and then freezes it as Sam Girard gets in a little bit of a mix around a couple of Flyers to the right side of Artur Shilovs, but he keeps it scoreless a minute into this game.
Well, like a lot of the series in the playoffs, you know, the pushing, the shoving, the dirty gloves in the face, the little cross checks, all those things after the whistle. It's easier said than done being up here in the booth, but down there on the ice, you have pride, you have ego. You don't want to get pushed around at all, but the Penguins got to walk that line of not retaliating even when the Flyers do initiate.
Face off to the right of Artur Shilovs in the Penguin zone. Drop of the puck and the Flyers control, but they get poked out of the way of it. Far wall. Sam Girard sweeps it out to center ice. Connor Dewar will drag it over the Flyers line, getting it to Blake Lizotte a little bit awkwardly as it's taken away by Alex Bump, the rookie making his playoff debut. Drags in the circle, fires a shot, saved by Shilovs. Short rebound that the Penguins will take away. As Blake Lizotte tried to shovel it out to the neutral zone, but he gets slammed into the boards by Bump. Flyers dump it in as Shilov stops it behind his net.
That's a perfect example of how the Flyers generate offense. That's a great chance by Bump. After just a little bit of a misplay by Lizotte, the Penguins are in the middle of a change. And then the Flyers use their speed to attack the Penguins' goal. First big save goes to Archer Shelovs.
Only shot of the game so far by the Flyers. Penguins have it in the Flyers zone for the first time, but Philly takes it out. Denver Barkey cruises over the Penguins line in the slot, rips a shot. Toe saved by Shelovs. Loose puck in the slot, and a shot wristed high of the net by Owen Tippett. Flyers still with it. High slot Sealer. Another wrister fought off by Shelovs. Rebound to the near corner. Taken by Tippett. Up to Sealer near point. Snaps it to the far side. It's dragged down the wall. High slot Tippett now. Tippett above the circle. Ripped the shot. Got blocked. Popped up and skimmed the netting. And the Flyers with 5 shots on goal. Maybe 4. Just a little over 3 minutes into this hockey game. And they have a ton of momentum right now.
Yeah, and the Penguins, just all of a sudden here we're a little over 2 and change into this game. And you feel like the Penguins are already on their heels a little bit just because they haven't managed the puck properly in the neutral zone. And the Flyers, they're on their toes. They're looking for any kind of a hiccup or turnover, and they're going. They're ejecting their defense into the offense already. And a couple of big saves by Shelovs early.
The visiting team has scored first in all 4 games of this series. But again, the Flyers have yet to have a first period goal. Flyers with it again. Penguins zone. Ristolainen far circle. Shot never got through traffic. Mantha tried to escape the puck. Got it to Kindle down in the slot. But the Flyers still keep it onside until it's poked away by Mantha. And now Couturier will cough it up to Ben Kindle. Takes it over the Flyers line. High slot. Peels back. Tried to send a stretch pass. Rather a lead pass to Wotherspoon. He couldn't get it cleanly. Had to reset in the neutral zone as Soderblom will chip it back down to the Flyers' end. Mantha comes racing in for it. Centers it for Kindle. Shot fired. They score! First shot of the night for the Pens. It finds the back of the net. And they strike first here in Pittsburgh. It's 1-0.
One shot, 1 goal. Welcome to the playoffs. Elmer Soderblom, his first career National Hockey League playoff goal, and it's a dandy. After all the good chances that Philly had, the Penguins get the puck deep, and they go to work. It's Anthony Mantha. First the hit on Ristolainen, and then I think the pass is intended for Ben Kindle. It eludes Kindle, but coming late on the play through the slot was big Elmer Soderblom. He wasted no time, goes upstairs over the left glove hand, and it's 1-0 Penguins.
Whether or not that pass was intended for Kindle, he either did not touch it or just barely touched it to make sure it could get to Soderblom either way. And the awareness from the 18-year-old rookie on that play is a huge reason why the Penguins are up 1-0. A little over 3 minutes gone. As the top line's out there, Brian Rusk gets taken down to the ice, bringing it into the Flyers zone. They play on. Crosby fighting for it, and behind the net, it's worked over to the near corner. Pitched up to the point, jumps off the skate of Carlson. Raquel will feed it to Wotherspoon. Back to Erik Karlsson, who flips it down to the Flyers' end far corner. Long bounce off the boards as Sealer plays it, spits it all the way down to the Penguins' end. This will be icing by Philly. 16:19 to go in the first, and the Penguins with the first goal of the game, 1-0, thanks to Elmer Soderblom.
Well, what I've noticed so far, and especially in game number 4, obviously, the Penguins had the first goal, led 2-0 and 3-1. Those two-goal leads that they had, they forced the Flyers to just play hockey, right? As well as the Penguins' power play is starting to get some traction. So the combination of those two are making the Flyers maybe just play a little bit safer, and sometimes safer is quieter, and they're not as effective that way.
Even when the Flyers tied things up in Game 3, 1-1, it was on the power play. That's what allowed them to get their first goal. They went on a tear after that, scoring 3 goals in a matter of 6 minutes. Well, the Penguins striking first for the 3rd straight game, and for the first time here at home as Archer Shelovs makes a save. We've got 4 minutes gone in this hockey game, 1-0 the Penguins lead.
And now you've got that opportunity again. You get the big goal, and we've talked about it so much, about depth scoring. Penguins had the 3rd most goals in the National Hockey League, and a big reason why is because they were getting goals from throughout their lineup. D would chip in once in a while, but most importantly, it's the bottom 6 guys. That's the difference between good teams and really good teams. Good teams that are knocked out in the first round or teams that get to the second round. So much of it is if they can get their bottom six to chip in.
Anthony Mantha and Ben Kindle each picking up their first point on that goal as well. Here's a wrister, deflected and fought off by Shelovs.
He got deflected, and that's a good, aggressive positioning save. I don't think Shelovs really knew where that puck was. He got icing here against the Penguins until he felt it go off his right shoulder.
15:47 to go in the opening period. Penguins with a 1-0 lead thanks to Elmer Soderblom. Artur Shelovs making his 12th appearance in the playoffs, his second with the Penguins. Saturday night's win gave him a record above 500 in the postseason at 6-5. Goals against average of .282, a save percentage of .901. Face off to the left of Shelovs. We got a whistle blown. This is going to be a penalty on Penguins. It's going to be Sam Girard.
Pittsburgh, number 49, minor penalty. Perfect.
The Penguins penalty kill was really outstanding. And the two games in Philadelphia, and Sam Girard just battling for a loose puck. And this is details. It doesn't seem like much, but he gets his stick into the feet of Denver Barkey as Barkey's turning to go after a loose puck. It's a small little detail, but you have to be so diligent in your stick positioning, especially when you're defending.
Phillies power play just over 15% this postseason series. The Penguins clear it down, shaving off almost 20 seconds of the PK so far. They have 2 power play goals. Both of them came in Game 3.
A big part of the success is getting Blake Lizotte for this penalty killing unit, get him back in the lineup.
Flyers back in the Penguin zone. Far corner Forster in behind the net to Carlson. He'll take it all himself. Milk off more time. Slow things down. Saucer pass intended for Dewar. Does go all the way down to the Flyers end, and he throws a check into Jamie Drysdale. Here comes Zegras in full flight over the Penguins line. Stops at the far half wall. Dances with the puck. Downstairs to Dvorak. Back to Zegras. Above the circle. Snap to Konechny. Near circle. Wrister. Blocked by Nola Chari. Puck over to the near corner. Spit up the wall for the Flyers. High slot Ristolainen. Far circle now. Zegras takes it up to the point. High slot Ristolainen. Hangs on to it. Under a minute to go on the Penguins PK. Konechny back to Ristolainen. Back to Konechny. Near point. In the slot. Drags and fires. Fought off. Kicked over to the far corner. Zegras taps it up. Taken by Konechny as he'll glide to the blue line and chip it back to Zegras. Konechny thought about a one-timer. Hung on. High slot Ristolainen now. He pumps one to Zegras. Far circle. He hangs on. Ristolainen. One-timer wide of the net. Rebound far half wall. Poked away by Letang. Not out though. Ristolainen keeps it alive. 30 on the Penguins PK. Martone near circle. Wrister dragged and it went high of the net. Rebound to the far half wall. Ristolainen swings it around the boards. To the near corner for Konechny. He corrals it down. Snaps it high slot Ristolainen. He pumps one. Blocked by Nola Chari. And out to the neutral zone it goes.
Oh, Nola Chari. Talk about sacrificing your body. Incredible.
10 seconds to go on the Penguins PK. Flyers back in the Penguins zone. Having trouble with it along the near wall. Poked up to York. He'll wrist one. Fought off. Puck flutters over the net, and it's cranked out to Sam Girard in the neutral zone. He'll buy some time. Feed Blake Lizotte. Flyer zone. Wrister got blocked. Rebound to the near corner. Lizotte and Girard tied up together. As the puck goes over to the near wall, the Flyers sweep it over to the far side, but the Penguins 1 for 1 on the PK so far tonight. They lead 1-0. About 13 and a half to go in the opening period. Flyers will chuck it out into their own bench, and we will go to our first break of the first. Penguins lead 1-0 thanks to Elmer Soderblom. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
What is life-changing medicine? Is it returning to the playing field or your favorite hiking path after an injury? Or running with your grandkids after a joint replacement? At UPMC, life-changing medicine is all those things. Through innovative research, rehabilitation, and advanced surgical procedures, our experts get you back to what you love doing. UPMC, changing healthcare, changing lives. Life-changing medicine.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became the best-selling trucks in America. 33 million trucks later, we've kept that title every year since. And that's a formula we plan on repeating. Ford F-Series, built Ford Tough, the best-selling trucks in America for 49 years and counting. Based on 1977 to 2025 calendar year industry reported total sales.
The best way to follow the Stanley Cup playoffs is here. The NHL app is your place to get every highlight from every game of every series. Behind-the-scenes playoff content you won't get anywhere else. The most NHL Edge advanced stats, keeping you up to date from round 1 through the Stanley Cup final. When it comes to following the playoffs, don't settle for anything less. The Stanley Cup playoffs are better on the NHL app.
Well, the Penguins are being outshot 5-1, but they're 1-for-1 in terms of scoring goals. Elmer Soderblom, his first career playoff goal, has the Penguins ahead 1-0. We've got 13:20 to go in the opening period. The Penguins just killed off a penalty, and the Philadelphia Flyers, with their 5 shots on goal, had a few on the power play. We'll get a face-off to the right of Dan Vladar. Tommy Novak will take the draw against Luke Glendening. Fight for the puck in the far circle. And it's kicked away by Novak, but out of the reach of Erik Karlsson. He's got to race it down to the Penguin zone. Brings it up to the near side, sends it ahead to Malkin, but it jumped off his stick. Tumbles over into the Flyers zone, taken by Sanheim. He whiffed on a pass. Malkin's got it, near corner, cruises in behind the net, brings it over to the far circle, turns around, cross-ice pass for Karlsson, kicked away, nits it up to Chinakhov, now to Wotherspoon, far circle, drags and takes it to the half boards, plays it off the end wall. In the near corner, it's just easily taken by Couturier. He'll chip it down to the Penguin zone. Puck on edge and not fast enough for icing as Wotherspoon collects. Under 13 to play in this first. Penguins with a 1-0 lead over Philadelphia. Game 5 of this series, trying to force a Game 6 back in Philly. Chipped into the far corner by Sid. Raquel reverses it to the captain, who puts it up to Shea. D to Shea, far point. His wrister high in the net. Solovyov collects at the half boards. Got it to Raquel. Quick shot wide of the net. Rebound to Crosby. Far circle. Pad save by Vladar. Now it's Leper Solovyov. He pumps one. Redirected by Rust, but kept out by Vladar.
Good idea by Solovyov, trying to find Rust, who came out from behind the net and showed the stick to Solovyov for a redirect.
Flyers back in the Penguin zone. It's Bump, whose shot got deflected. Kicked over to the near corner. It's scooped up by Owen Tippett, who will chip it back down to the end boards. Sanheim swings it over to the far circle for Zegras. Bumped up. Barkey, wrister, fought off by Shelovs. Crosby will chip it out to the neutral zone.
Another really good positional save by Archer Shelovs, way out in the top of his blue paint.
Letang crunches Barkey into the boards, but Tippett comes away with the puck in the Penguin zone. His dumping attempt snapped out of the air by Letang. Up ahead to Achari. He feeds it to Mantha. Wrister, saved by Vladar. Crash towards the net, and Vladar's got the puck in the crease with the net off its moorings. 11:28 to go in this opening period. The Penguins' offense starting to pick up a little bit more, but they still have a 1-0 lead over Philly.
Well, that's turning defense into offense right there. Quick puck retrieval by the Penguins. Stretch pass. Little bump pass off the wall to Anthony Mantha in full stride. Left-hand shot, left side of the ice. He gets to the left dot, maybe 2 or 3 feet outside the left dot, and he lets that wrister go. That's the old shot off the pad right there, right? You know you have Gerard beelining it to the back post. Throw it off the left pad of Vladar. Again, that big rebound all series long, Joe. Those rebounds have been there off of Vladar, but more times than not, the Penguins are not there.
The line that's responsible for the only goal out on the ice now. Kindle to take the draw, but Dvorak wins it. Gets it to the near corners. Emil Andre, who's back in the lineup after missing the last 3 games, will ice it all the way down to the Penguin zone. 11:21 to go in this first. Penguins lead 1-0.
And that's one of the 2 changes for Rick Tocchet. Matvei Michkov is a healthy scratch. And so, as you mentioned, Alex Bump comes in the lineup. Denver Barkey goes from a line with Noah Cates. He goes up with Trevor Zegras. And Emil Andre comes in for Noah Juleson.
Andre played in Game 1 here in this building, then missed the last 3 with an upper body injury. Face off to the right of Vladar. Kindle just sweeps it right on net. It's taken by the Flyers, though. Worked up the wall. Couldn't clear it. Now they do. Out to center ice that Sam Girard will take. Ahead to Ben Kindle, who shovels it down to the Flyers' end. Bounces off the end board. Sealer collects. He's cut off briefly by Mantha, worked up the near wall. They fork it out to the Penguin zone. Tumbling puck that will not go far enough for icing. Scooped up by Girard in his own end. Under 11 to play in the first. Penguins with a 1-0 lead over the Flyers. Game 5 of this playoff series. Elmer Soderblom cruised into the Flyers zone, but then just coughed up the puck. Now Konechny with some speed will chip and chase it into the Penguins' end far corner. Letang tries to keep it away from him. Got it to Mantha, who sent it up ahead to Soderblom. Couldn't clear it. Drysdale far circle. Tees one up. Pad saved by Shelovs. Read away. Mantha, Kindle, Soderblom. 3-on-2 bit for the Penguins here, but Kindle had to retreat, go back to the bench. Now there's a loose puck. Carlson a blast. A save by Vladar. Mantha tried to collect the rebound, but it was stripped away by one of the Flyers. Penguins will reset in their own zone. 10:15 to go in the first. 1-0 Penguins. Pass a little bit behind Evgeny Malkin. He had to reposition himself to get to it. Flyers have it. Penguin zone. Centering pass kicked away by Wotherspoon. Tapped it out to the neutral zone, but Sanheim will pump it back. Got it to Forster, who will retreat into the Flyers zone and then snap a pass ahead to Alex Bump. Shoveled into the Penguin zone. Kicked back out to center ice. Fight for the puck in front of the Penguins penalty box. It squeaks out to Sanheim for the Flyers in their zone. Ristolainen will chip it over the Penguin line. Caught a weird bounce off Forster, and now it's redirected out to the neutral zone again. Past the halfway point of the opening period. Penguins still with a 1-0 lead over the Flyers. Elmer Soderblom the only goal. It's just the third 5-on-5 goal for the Penguins in this series. So Wotherspoon takes it, sends a rink-wide pass across the ice to Raquel. He'll dump it down to the Flyers end, around the boards to Russ, far half wall. Tied up into the corner. Flyers look to clear it up the far side. Raquel golf tees it back over towards the end boards. It rolls to the near side. Crosby with a big check on Cam York. Letang will send it deep. Weird bounce towards the circle. It's to Shea above the circle. Tapped down to Crosby. He goes for a tough angle shot, but it got deflected. Sailed out of play and skimmed the netting. 9:05 to go in the opening period.
Every single night going forward, too, he's dragging us along and get guys going. You know, that's what great players do.
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Fort Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen. Walks in. Put it between his legs. Shoots it. Score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
MLS, NWSL, the USL, and more covering the beautiful game here at home. American soccer lives on Sirius XM FC 157.
If you're doing all that.
Penguins still with a 1-0 lead over the Flyers. We've got 9:05 to go in the opening period. Again, the line that's responsible for the only goal so far, out to take the draw. Ben Kindle against Luke Glendening. He's got Soderblom to his left, the goal scorer, Anthony Mantha to his right. Far circle, it's kicked over to the corner and rung up the boards to the near wall for Couturier. He gets crunched into the wall by Solovyov, but Couturier still comes away with it. Got it to Glendening, chipped it towards the net, tumbling on edge for Shelovs, and he'll just stamp his glove on top of it, say that's enough of that.
Solovyov push back on Couturier. And now Elmer Soderblom gives a shove to Couturier. This is all good if the Penguins are initiating. Initiate, then get out of there, right? Don't get mixed up with the back and forth. It just fuels Philly and what they want to do.
I think that's what benefited the Flyers so much the first couple of games. And what hurt the Penguins so much. Again, the Flyers still out shooting the Pens right now, 7-3, but the Penguins with the only goal. 8:54 to go in this opening period. Penguins win the draw. Wotherspoon sends it around the boards, and Connor Dewar cut off one of the Flyers as it goes all the way down to the Philly zone. Chased after by Blake Lizotte. He sends Sealer into the boards. Poked away by Dewar to Lizotte behind the net. Cranked along the wall. A hustling Erik Karlsson keeps it onside. Slings one. Deflected just wide of the net.
Oh, my goodness. That hit the defenseman. Was it Andre?
Here's Lizotte in the slot. Fired a shot. It's blocked. Over to the near side. Taken by Dewar. Half boards. Couldn't get a clean pass ahead to Karlsson. Poked ahead by Konechny into the Penguin zone. Yeah, almost some friendly fire there on the Flyers as Carlson shot. As Dewar sends one that got deflected over to the far corner.
Yeah, him and Konechny. Carlson and Konechny going back. They both got really good slashes on each other, and the referee let them both go. Well done.
Penguins with
John McIsaac, by the way, is the man on the stripes who let boys be boys there.
Penguins with the only penalty so far tonight, a tripping by Sam Girard. When the Penguins killed off that penalty, they lead 1-0 with under 8 to play in the opening period. Sam Girard snaps a stretch pass to Tommy Novak, gets it over the Flyers line, but Philly quickly pumps it back out. It goes down to the near corner. Penguins have to touch back onside. It's taken by Travis Sanheim, slung ahead to Forster. He'll angle it down into the Penguin zone, took a tumble off the end boards. Shilov's tried to play it, couldn't. He was pressured by one of the Flyers. Now the Penguins chip it out to center ice. It's pawed down by Cam York. He'll dump it down to the Penguins end again, near corner. Girard plays it off the end boards, whiffed on an outlet pass, now takes it back, swings it up the wall for Chinakhov. Angled it out for Tommy Novak. He takes it to center ice, and will backhand swat it down to the Flyers' end. And behind the net, Vladar stops it, left it for Drysdale. He's got it at the far circle. Takes it up to center ice, dances with the puck, and then retreats. Gets it to York. York snaps it ahead, jumped off the stick of Barkey. Penguins take it the other way. Crosby whiffed on a dump in, then gets the second try down there. Near corner, it's played off the boards by York. Cut off by Crosby, knocked out of midair. Rust has it high slot, tries to feed a centering pass to Crosby, but Tippett took it away. Flyers kick it out to the neutral zone, but the Penguins take it back. Carlson ahead, looking for Crosby. Taking over the Flyers line. Rust at the corner to Sid, deflected. Second attempt by Rust goes wide. McKell near corner, up to Carlson in the near circle. Sidesteps the blue line to the far point. He feeds Shea, high slot, darts towards the circle. Tried to make a move around Tippett. Falls down to the ice. It swung out to center ice. Taken by Luke Glendening. Forced over the Penguins line. Flyers really need a change. They'll get one as the Penguins take the puck back. Stretch pass ahead by Crosby. Tried to feed Mantha, but it was cut off by Philly in the neutral zone. Couturier takes it for the Flyers. Penguins poke it back out to center ice as Kindle tries to keep it away from Glendening. But the Flyers will send it back down to the Penguins' end. It's corralled by Erik Karlsson, far corner of his own zone. Trying to speed his way away from Hathaway. Nice move to get away on a check from Couturier. Dumped it down to the Flyers' end near corner.
And Couturier missed the check, so he threw the left skate out there and tried to kick Karlsson on the way by.
The big man, Elmer Soderblom, draws a penalty. 6-on-5 for the Penguins here. Shilov's to the bench. Kindle near circle, Flyers zone. Snaps it rink wide to Malkin. Far corner. In the slot. Soderblom. Backhand shot in and out of the glove of Vladar. Puck is still loose, but now they'll call it.
Now get out of there. You're about to go on the power play. The Flyers are going to start throwing punches, and they just are trying to suck, and they just sucked Evgeny Malkin in. Goodness gracious. So obvious what the Flyers were doing. You're about to go on the power play, and they went after Malkin, knowing he's a hothead, and he retaliates. Goodness gracious.
Now Mantha and Sanheim going at it as well. And Hathaway's going to the box, so is Malkin. And Mantha wants to go right now. He's trying to dish the mitts. As the officials are talking things over in front of the penalty boxes right now. We're going to go to a break. We'll figure this out when we come back. 5:33 to go in the first. It's 1-0 Penguins on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Dear team, thanks for showing up for me with the best face paint and taunting the other team in the kindest way. For standing on your seat when I need the support and screaming until your throat hurts because you know it makes a difference. For wearing my number. For being the best teammates a player could ask for. At Highmark, we're proud to be cheering alongside the best teammates. Fans like you. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Official health plan of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Hi, I'm Marcus Leto. I'm the co-creator of the Halo universe and the creator of the Master Chief. Kent State really taught me to think like a designer, not just to build visuals, but to build worlds. I mean, that was all this fire in my belly that I just wanted to try to create something that was different. The program here really helped give me the tools to enter the workforce, and I still look back to Kent State as a foundation that allows me now to do the kind of stuff that I can do.
Pittsburgh-based EQT Corporation is the top natural gas producer in the United States and is a proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Penguins' pathway to net zero. EQT is an industry leader in cutting emissions and using our region's clean resources to replace dirtier sources of energy overseas. EQT and the Penguins are focused on achieving key climate goals and reducing emissions across Pittsburgh and beyond. Visit EQT.com to learn more about how EQT is moving towards the future and setting the standard for production of affordable, reliable, and clean energy.
Well, a missed opportunity for the Penguins to go on the power play.
Hold on here, Joe.
Yeah, we're still awaiting word.
Yeah.
Right now, on the score sheet.
On the scoreboard, they have Travis Konechny up there for an extra 2. That's what's on here right now, but they're still trying to sort things out. We have 2 players in the box from the Flyers, 2 in from the Penguins.
Yeah, online they have Malkin for roughing, Hathaway for tripping, Mantha for cross-checking, Konechny for roughing. And then the official just looked at both benches and put up 5-5.
I'm not sure why they have Konechny up there on the board right now.
The faceoff's going to come to the far right dot in front of the Flyers bench.
I see 5 Penguins on the ice. And Rick Tocchet's hot right now. Okay. The original call was for tripping. And then once, and now the Penguins they might get this power play. They're extremely lucky. It was so obvious to me up here. As soon as there was about to be a Penguins power play, the Flyers started looking around. Where's Malkin? Where's Malkin? Go after Malkin. He'll retaliate. He did. My goodness gracious, the Penguins lucky here. They are going to get a power play out of this.
Yeah, I stand corrected. But again, Malkin in the box, so they don't have him available for this power play. Tommy Novak replaces him as he brings it down to the Flyers' end near corner. 1-0 Penguins, 5.5 to play in the opening period. Crosby's got a far corner of the Flyers' zone. Tied up into the wall by Sanheim. It's dragged out by Couturier, but Russ pumps it up to Carlson, far point. Down the blue line he goes. Rister down low looking for a redirection to Sid, but instead it was deflected by Philly. Pitched up the near wall, but it's cut off by Glendening. Tommy Novak digging after the puck along the near half boards. It squeaks out to the point. Carlson sweeps it to Raquel, far half wall, down to the circle at the hash marks, to the corner. Back up to Carlson, down the blue line he goes, high slot, back to Raquel, far circle, down low to Rust. He tried to make a move on Vladar, but out of the top of his crease he makes the save as Rust went backhand to the forehand at the top of the crease. Vladar keeps it 1-0 Penguins with 1:17 to go on the Penguins power play.
That's the right play by Rust. Hope I can describe this without you seeing it. It goes from center point to half wall, down to the goal line to Brian Rust, who's a right-hand shot. So when he gets the puck, he has his back to Vladar. He then gets it right, tries to get it to the forehand as quick as possible in front. Next time, try dragging it around the left pad of Vladar because he goes down early.
Tommy Novak with a quick shot, fought up by Vladar. Penguins still with it. Carlson near point, down the blue line, chips it over to Crosby near circle. Takes it to the half wall, down to the corner for Novak to Russ. Quick shot, fought up by Vladar, or went wide. Chipped down along the end boards. Russ corrals it to the near corner, plays it up the wall, snaps it to Crosby at the point. Carlson to the far side, chipped down to Raquel, far circle. At the corner, below to Russ. Pitch back up to Carlson, 44 on the Penguins power play. Crosby near circle. At the hash marks, down low. Went for a cross-ice pass, shoveled it into the pads by Raquel as Vladar kept it out.
Raquel was right on top of Vladar, couldn't elevate the puck.
Sealer steals the puck away, can't clear it just yet. Carlson poked at it, now tapped ahead to Dvorak. He's in the Penguin zone. Carlson to try and close him off, and a shoulder save by Shelovs.
Oh, what a save by Shelovs. The Penguins flat-footed, they turn the puck over, and off to the races with Dvorak, and Carlson's out here on an extended shift.
10 seconds to go on the Penguins power play as they get it to Kindle over the Flyers line to Soderblom. His shot deflected, sails out of play. 4 seconds to go on the Penguins power play with 3:37 to go in the first. Penguins lead 1-0.
A couple of really good chances there on the Penguins power play when they eventually just worked it down low. Worked it from the goal line, quickly getting it to the front of the net. I'd just like to see the Penguins get more opportunities, second and third whacks after the initial try. The
faceoff comes to the right of Vladar. Right now, it's Ben Kindle to take the draw. Igor Chinikov to his left. Elmer Soderblom to his right. And the Flyers have it. Bringing in behind the net, Couturier near corner. Konechny's out of the box, but Chris Letang will strip the puck away. We're back to 5-on-5, but both Mantha and Malkin still in the box, have to wait for a stoppage of play. And the Flyers have Konechny in the box as well. Pitch down to the Penguin zone. In behind the net, Letang will sweep it over to the far corner. Gerard whiffed on a clearing attempt, still got it out to Soderblom, who chips it out to center ice. It tumbles in front of Kindle. He'll take it over the Flyers line, trying to dance through the crease, but too many white sweaters there. It's taken away by Couturier, far side. He'll chip it out to the Penguin zone. Played on a couple of bounces by Ryan Shea. Gives it over to Wotherspoon. His pass went off the skate of Chinikov. Flyers take it. Out to center ice. It's Barkey now over the Penguins line. Chips it down to the corner. Chases after it. Shea gets there first. Sends it up the near wall. Achari angled it up, not out. Tippett fires it on net. And the toe saved by Shilovs. Worked up the far wing. Flyers still have it. Pump one wide of the net. Near corner, Tippett races after it. Tries to dig it free. Slung up the wall as Achari can't force it out of the zone just yet. Now he does. All the way down to the Flyers' end it goes, though. That'll be icing by the Penguins. 2:25 to go in this first period. The Penguins lead 1-0.
Well, unleashing AI takes brain power and real power. From right here in Pittsburgh, EQT fuels the innovation driving the next big play. EQT, unleashing America's energy future.
He's the old 2-9er Phil Bourque. I'm Joe Brand. We're here in Pittsburgh. Game 5 of this opening round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Penguins down in the series 3-1, trying to force a Game 6. Face off to the right of Artur Shilovs, and the Penguins control. Wotherspoon sends it along the far wall. It goes all the way down to the Flyers' end. But no icing as Vladar plays it. Pressured by Lazat. Gets worked over to the far wall, though. Flyers have it. Out to center ice they bring it. It's Sanheim over the line. Near circle. Wrists one. In and out of the glove of Shilovs. Tumble to the far side. Ristolainen tees up a one-timer. That goes wide. Kept alive by Sanheim. Nice play at the point. Sends it rink wide down to the corners. It missed an intended target. Gerard gets sandwiched by a couple of Flyers, but the Penguins take the puck away. Achari with a pass to Letang over the Flyers line. Finds the far circle. Wrister fought off by Vladar. Second attempt by Raquel is still kept out by the Flyers goalie. They snap it up to Gerard. He tees one out of the glove by Vladar. Russ whipped on a shot. Second attempt blocked. Puck to the near corner. Kept alive by Raquel. 1:35 to go in the opening period. It rolls over to the far corner. Noah Cates collects, chips it off the far wall, and worked out to the neutral zone. Gerard will take it, though. As Raquel went for a nifty pass to Rust, instead it's taken by Philly. They'll chip it down to the Penguins' end near corner. Gerard plays it off the board, sweeps it to the near wall. Forster found Alex Bump. He keeps hold of it, fires a shot. Stick save Shilovs. Rebound near corner as Letang swung it up, not out. Sanheim with it. High slot down to the near circle for Bump. He'll take it up the wall. The high slot. One-timer wide of the net from Forster. Tumbles all the way out to the neutral zone, and it rolls into the Flyers' end. Under a minute to go in the opening period. Penguins lead 1-0. As Malkin hunting down Drysdale for the puck. He takes it out to center ice. Slings it ahead. Wide open Zegras. Whipped on a backhand attempt. Centering pass went wide. Flyers with it. A one-timer from Bump. That's blocked by Mantha. Bump sends it towards the slot again. Tippett a drive. That's deflected wide. Puck to the near side. Carlson plays it ahead to Tommy Novak. 33 seconds to go. Novak, Flyers zone, near circle. Couldn't hang on to the puck. Sends it up to Malkin. Sweeps it high slot. Wotherspoon pumps one deflected just wide. And behind the net, Malkin couldn't handle it. Tippett collects. Pitches it up the near side for Zegras. 20 seconds to go in the period. Chip down to the Penguins' end. Barkey tries to knock it down out of midair. It's on the stick of Zegras. Far circle. Tough angle shot went through the legs. It goes wide.
Yeah, he pulled it between his legs and then tried to shoehorn it. He did that last game, too.
7 seconds to go. Shot fired. It's deflected. Rebound to the near point. Sealer a drive. Deflected just wide. 2 seconds, one, and that'll do it for the opening period. Artur Shilovs with 9 saves in this opening period. Elmer Soderblom with the only goal. The Penguins dodge a couple bullets, they kill a penalty, and they lead 1-0 through 20 here in Pittsburgh.
And no larger caliber bullet than that last chance for Travis Zegras. All by himself from the top of the circles in. Sells shot on the forehand, then goes very quickly. Forehand backhand that tries to shelf it. And when he went to shelf it on the backhand, rolled right off his stick into the corner.
So the Penguins strike first for the third straight game. now looking for their second straight win to force a Game 6 in this series. 40 minutes of hockey to be played, though, still. Penguins lead 1-0 over the Flyers. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank. Spun around the board, Sid to Brian Ross. Tough angle shot. He scores! Rusty Shakes are back, Pittsburgh.
50% off at the Milkshake Factory.
You heard that right, Pittsburgh. Brian Rust here, letting you know that I'm bringing back Pittsburgh's #1 milkshake. Rusty's Shake is a rich chocolate shake with oven-baked brownies, crushed cookies and cream, and hot fudge topped with whipped cream and a chocolate 17. When you hear this, come down to the Milkshake Factory for half-off shakes.
As the largest and most experienced program in the region, UPMC Sports Medicine knows that injuries can happen to anyone, whether you're a weekend athlete, a rising star, or even a seasoned pro. That's why we offer a complete range of services and experts to help treat and prevent sports-related injuries to get you back in the game. To make an appointment, visit upmcsportsmedicine.com. The UPMC is the official healthcare provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
It takes all of us to take action and bring awareness to create a better community and environment. Penguins Pledge brings together key Penguins business partners with a common goal to create a more environmentally conscious community. Our Penguins Pledge champion partners, PPG, US Steel, EQT, Wesco, Indra Energy, and Coca-Cola are all committed to a better and more sustainable Pittsburgh. Learn more at pittsburghpenguins.com/Penguins Pledge.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became the best-selling trucks in America. 33 million trucks later, we've kept that title every year since. And that's a formula we plan on repeating. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. The best-selling trucks in America for 49 years and counting. Based on 1977 to 2025 calendar year industry reported total sales.
This is the Penguins Live Intermission Report.
And welcome into our first intermission report, where the Penguins hold a 1-0 lead over the visiting Philadelphia Flyers here in Game 5 of this opening round Stanley Cup playoff series. Brian Metzer here with you, and that goal comes compliments of Elmer Soderblom, his first of the playoffs, just 2:45 into the period. He kind of starts the play, dumping the puck in behind the net. Then Anthony Mantha goes in, works pretty hard to get to it, fling it out into the front where Ben Kindle was, kind of lets it go. I don't know if he fanned on it or let it go. We'll say he let it go, and Soderblom gets to it and fires it in for the 1-0 lead. He joins Elmer Locke as only the second Elmer to score a playoff goal in National Hockey League history, and I believe that's the only other Elmer to play games in the league. Paul Steigerwald and I looked that up when Elmer came to town. There were some penalties, and it all, the craziness started a little bit. Gino flipped the puck into the Flyers bench early in this game. Rick Tocchet didn't like it, and you can read his lips saying, "It came right at my head," or something like that. So he wasn't thrilled, and that kind of started a little bit of the animus for this night. And then the penalty train started to the box. First, Sam Girard went at 4:17 for tripping. Penguins were able to kill that one off. Hathaway, Konechny, and Hathaway got penalties at 14:27, as did Evgeny Malkin and Anthony Mantha. There were some other dust-ups throughout the period, but there were nothing too crazy there. Penguins did have that power play opportunity with that extra penalty on Hathaway. Managed 3 shots on goal, but weren't able to score on those. They did have a ton of really quality scoring chances. It was probably their most pressure-packed period of the series, even though they were really solid in the last game. Thought they probably could have scored another goal or two, but did not. They did outshoot the Flyers for a rare occasion in this series, 11-9 through this first period of play. So overall, you're pretty happy with that. When we come back, a conversation with Dave Molinari. You know him well. He's covered the Penguins for many years, and he'll join me next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com or an office near you.
Proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Office is Pittsburgh.
Hey, hockey fans, the ice is heating up and the savings are too at Spitzer Auto World. Shop thousands of new vehicles at the Panda price. And here's the hat trick. Get a lifetime warranty at no charge. Whack more, spend less at Spitzer Auto World.
Our world revolves around you.
Take a break and come out with us tonight.
Not tonight, man.
Come on. You deserve a night out. You're going to miss out.
Miss out on what?
While you stayed home, they won big. They celebrated. They got the suite, stayed up all night, and made memories. And you weren't there. Some nights are too good to sit out. Rivers Casino. Don't miss the moment.
It takes real beer to quench real thirst, to give you real satisfaction. Iron City Beer is the perfect result of the skill and knowledge developed through 164 years in the business. Go on, grab one.
Tired of the cold and shoveling snow? Same. This year, make an easy escape from winter by switching to S&T Bank. With online and mobile banking, you're always in control. Set savings goals, track your budget, and transfer funds faster than you can say, "Pina colada, please." With convenient locations and ATMs, we'll make planning your next tropical trip a breeze. Stop by your local S&T branch, visit stbank.com, or call 800-325-2265. Banking made easy so you can spend more time in the sun. S&T Bank, member FDIC.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, Coca-Cola and the new Coke Zero, founding partner of the Penguins. Now, back to the Penguins Live Intermission Report with Brian Metzer.
And welcome back into our first intermission report, where the Penguins hold a 1-0 lead over the Flyers here in Game 5. Brian Metzer back here with you, and now very happy to be joined by Dave Molinari. You know him well. He's worked covering the Penguins for many years. He's now doing a Substack. You can find it at davemolinari.substack.com. Dave, welcome back. How are you?
Oh, terrific, Brian. And yourself?
Oh, very good. I'm glad to get you on here. I hope it's not for the last time of the season, but Penguins pushing hard here. They forced this Game 5, and just your thoughts on where they are in the series and how they're playing at this stage of it.
Well, I mean, they've still obviously got a very steep climb ahead of them. Winning 4 games in a row against any team, even against a bad team, would be quite a challenge. And, the Flyers have played pretty well in this series, and at least for the first few games, they were pretty adept at pushing the Penguins' buttons and getting them off their game. For better, for worse, though, I'm old enough to be able to speak from experience that teams can come back and win a series after losing the first 3, because I watched the Islanders do it here in 1975.
I was just going to say that, Penguins and Flyers are involved in those 4 occasions that it happened, because the Flyers did it, Penguins on the wrong side. Maybe that little nuance of history means something. That they're both involved.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that so much, but one parallel I did notice the other day when looking back on that Islanders series was after New York lost the first 3 games, they changed goalies. Went from Billy Smith to Chico Resch, much as the Penguins went from Stuart Skinner to Artur Shilovs. There's still an awful long way to go for Shilovs to match what Chico Resch did, but he's moving down that path at least.
Yeah, I would say Artie would love being mentioned in the same company with the 2 Islanders goaltenders that you just mentioned. But, obviously, neither of these teams are probably on par with what that Islanders team was. But anything can happen. I mean, it just takes winning the first game. And you saw Rick Tocchet immediately kind of tweak his lineup a little bit. A couple nuances there. The Penguins made their changes going into it. What do you think how things will go if the Penguins are able to pull this off? Do you think that gives a team like the Flyers, being younger, the yips a little bit, or is it just business as usual?
I don't know the Flyers well enough to really be able to say, but theoretically, yes, that would be the case, that, when they run into that kind of adversity, you can't really say for certain how they'll respond to it, but that's still, the Penguins still have to get through 2 more periods before they think about that. If they go back to Philadelphia, they and particularly Crosby generally play pretty well there, and so the series still could get pretty interesting.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Dave. And we do have about 30 seconds left. And how big is it for the Penguins to finally get some secondary scoring? Because it seemed like, I know they didn't score a lot of goals. However, the big guys were the ones scoring them. So secondary scoring awfully big.
Yeah, that was one of the real keys to the Penguins' success during the regular season. They got fairly steady production from up and down their lineup, and that makes a difference. And, tonight getting a goal from Soderblom, that's a big plus for them.
Yeah, I would agree with you there, and from a big guy, Elmer Soderblom. Dave, thank you so much for this, and thanks for your help this season. Really appreciate it, and as I said, hope it's not our last one.
My pleasure, Brian. I'll be glad to do it again.
All right, thank you. That is Dave Molinari. Find him over on X at MolinariPGH, and again, check out his Substack at davemolinari.substack.com. When I come back, news from around the league on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
What are two things the Pittsburgh Penguins have in common with Cleveland Brothers Equipment Company? Hard work and dedication. If you're looking for heavy equipment, need a specific part, or want expert service, talk to the industry leaders at Cleveland Brothers, your local CAT dealer. We provide solutions and products for construction, landscaping, oil and gas, electric and industrial power, highway, and more. Let us help you score the winning goal. Visit www.clevelandbrothers.com to learn more.
Dear team, thanks for showing up for me with the best face paint and taunting the other team in the kindest way. For standing on your seat when I need the support and screaming until your throat hurts because you know it makes a difference. For wearing my number. For being the best teammates a player could ask for. At Highmark, we're proud to be cheering alongside the best teammates. Fans like you. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Official health plan of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
NHL fans, give yourself some great looks this season and get Pittsburgh Penguins tickets at Ticketmaster. As the official ticket marketplace of the Penguins and the NHL, Ticketmaster has a wide selection of tickets available for every game, so you can catch all the action live all season long. If your plans change, you can sell or transfer your tickets, and mobile tickets make it easy to get into the arena in time for puck drop. With Ticketmaster, you'll ensure that when they shoot, you'll score. Get tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Penguins.
Want to rack up some points? Join number one Cochrane Club One Rewards and turn your vehicle into a scoring machine. You'll earn points with every dollar spent on service and can redeem points for dollars off a new vehicle or future service. Plus, save on gas and rental cars with our valuable partner perks. Score your free membership now at clubonerewards.cochrane.com. Number one Cochrane, official auto group of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, Rivers Casino, Pittsburgh's entertainment destination. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Now, back to the Penguins Live Intermission Report with Brian Metzer.
Penguins 1, Flyers nothing after one period of play here in Game 5. Brian Metzer back here with you. And the Buffalo Sabres are putting some quality hockey together against the Boston Bruins. And they said they feel their hardest game is yet to come tomorrow when they face the Bruins and with a chance to eliminate them. They're up 3-1 in their opening round series, and that's been a fun series to watch. They won yesterday 6-1. Sad moment for hockey fans around the league, though. Anze Kopitar, we watched him go through a farewell tour late in the season and get a send-off from Kings fans. Well, they end up getting into the playoffs and sadly had to send him off again as they were swept by the Avalanche. They fell yesterday 5-1. But Kopitar now officially retired, and you'll remember he was selected in the same draft as Sidney Crosby, and he's put together a really storied career. So it was sad to see him go. He's always been one of my favorites to watch. Great two-way defensive forward. They could score goals and do a little bit of everything. Lightning were 3-2 winners over the Montreal Canadiens yesterday. That series is tied at 2, and it's been a heated series, which has been fun to watch. They've been going hard at one another. I'm not sure that the Lightning expected the pushback that they're getting from the Canadiens, but it is there. And then some controversy last night as the Ducks beat the Oilers 4-3 in overtime with a puck that was over the line, but maybe not. When we come back, second period action, Joe Brand and Phil Bork have it for you next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Got kicked out of the house again, Johnny.
We lost in OT, and I threw the remote through the TV.
There goes your bundle and our playoffs at home.
You've got Sirius XM, right? All the games, hometown announcers, right on the app.
You are useful. Turn it on.
Get every game of the NHL and NBA playoffs on Sirius XM and the Sirius XM app. Every game, every team, and your hometown announcers, all in one place.
But if you throw anything at my radio, you're walking.
The playoffs are here.
Back around on the far post on the forehand, and the save made by Swayman.
I settle in front of the goal.
Score!
Hughes leaves it.
Carey out in front. McKinnon scores!
16 teams made the cut.
And only one can bring home the
now
prize.
It's McDavid towards the net, across to Roslovic. Score! Chance for Jarvis, shot out of the can, score! Caulfield moving in, shot, score!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Sirius XM 91.
And the Sirius XM app.
We deliver the NHL.
But don't you see similarities there in Florida in the East, Vegas in the West? Because when you look at the draft picks or lack thereof, at some point we gave it a run. It's going to be time to pay the piper, isn't it? Now, I don't think that time has come for either franchise, but we can see where this is ultimately going.
But then again, it does make it difficult because you're on that treadmill. Eventually, it stops. And bottom line, you empty the tank and you got the ultimate prize. That makes it worth it.
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio.
Sirius XM 91.
Feel the pulse-pounding drama of the UEFA Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC. The stakes are raised as Europe's elite.
Fantastic start for PSG. The Bayern Munich machine is on the roll again. Arsenal are running riot in North London.
Battle in a quest for club soccer's ultimate prize.
This is the place where dreams come true.
This is where legends are made. The Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Everything is better on ice.
Goes his way in. Promotional cuts in and scores!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Elmer Soderblom's first career playoff goal, still the difference in this one. The Penguins with a 1-0 lead over the Philadelphia Flyers. Soderblom scoring on the first shot on net for the Penguins in this game. Dan Vladar able to make the next 10 saves. And then Artur Shilov's making all 9 saves against the Philadelphia Flyers in the opening 20 minutes. Penguins score in the first period for the third straight game.
Partner, the Philadelphia Flyers, between attempts blocked and missed shots, they had 22. That's a lot. That's too many. That tells me that the Flyers had the puck on their stick a lot in the Penguin zone. And yes, your goaltender was unbelievable. You get a goal from a third-line guy in Soderblom, but still a little bit too loose for me. A little too loose defensively, because you know the Flyers are going to be better here in the second. The Penguins need to be better, especially defensively.
Just to clarify on that Soderblom goal, Anthony Mantha with a primary assist. Ben Kindle never touched it. Parker Wotherspoon receives the secondary assist. It's all three of them's first point of the postseason. Penguins now attacking from right to left in their alternate third gold sweaters with Artur Shilov's in net. Philadelphia Flyers attacking from left to right in their road white sweaters. Crosby to take the draw against Sean Couturier. Captain against captain. Drop of the puck. Flyers win it. Opening faceoffs brought to you by number 1 Cochrane Club 1 Rewards. Artur Shilov's plays. It goes off the skate of an official and a quick shot on net that Shilov's makes the pad save. Would have went wide of the cage anyway, but it's still in the Penguin zone. Angled out to the far point and swept back in by Hathaway. Scooped off the boards from Ryan Shea. He'll tap it ahead to Raquel, who tried to angle it out to Crosby. Lost it to the Flyers. They reset in their own zone. Snap it ahead to Alex Pump, who just jumped off the bench, fell onto the ice.
Men, the Flyers, they just got away with one.
One of the officials right there at the Flyers bench as well.
Yeah, and that puck comes right in front of the bench, and you're in the middle of a sloppy change. More times than not, you're going to get caught.
Penguins get it down to the Flyers zone near corner. Played off the wall by Vladar. Their D will work it out to center ice as Forster chips it over the Penguins line. Far half boards. Carlson plays it off the wall and chips it out to center ice. Brought down by Drysdale. Pumps it ahead that Wotherspoon collects in his own zone. Eric Carlson snapping it up to Novak, but the Flyers break it off. Dump it back into the Penguin zone again. Shilov stops it behind his net. Wotherspoon takes it up the far side. Shovels it out to the neutral zone. Malkin can only get a touch on it. Now he takes it back. Gets it to Carlson as the Penguins re-rack in their own zone again. Lead pass ahead of the neutral zone. Out of the reach of Malkin. Swept back in by Konechny to the Penguin zone. Puck rolls over to the far boards. Carlson chopped it out to center ice, but Emil Andre takes it away. Konechny having some trouble with it along the near boards. They chip it back to Konechny. Now Malkin taps it up, not out. Chinakhov with an outstretched arm takes the puck away, slings it down to the Flyers' end. Took a hard check from Sealer as well. Those two are tangled up in front of the Penguins bench. Worked over the Penguins line, chipped just in front of the net by Chris Letang. Luckily, it bounced wide of the cage. Played ahead to Sam Girard, skates over the Flyers line, rims it around the boards, tumbles to the far corner. Kindle reverses it, looking for Mantha. Instead rolls up the wall to Soderblom, collects off the half boards, down to the corner, cross ice pass. Letang drags, fires, it's blocked. Deflected up into the air. Soderblom paws it down, curls around the circle, feeds it to Mantha. He'll take it up to the point, leave it to Letang. Inside the circle, firing in. Backhand shot got blocked. It's sitting there. Kindle kicked at it, trying to get it to his stick, but couldn't. Bodies all down over the ice. Penguins still with it. Mantha high slot. Brings it to the near side. Down the wall, at the corner. Goal line. Slings it out. Far circle. Letang pumps it wide of the net. Rebound to the near half boards. It's poked out to the neutral zone. Sam Girard collects. Good pressure from the Penguins as 3 Flyers have been out there for at least a minute 22. Penguins right back in the Flyers zone. Soderblom dancing his way through, but couldn't finish off a shot. Slings it around the boards. It goes over to the far wall. Lazat taps it up to Carlson. Far point. He'll send it deep. Mantha collects. Near side. Works it to the corner. Pitches it up the boards. Wotherspoon hacked at it. They keep it onside. Mantha with it. Far circle. Down towards the cage. In behind it. Wraparound try. Stuffed out by Vladar. Puck in behind the net. As it's dug after by Dewar. Worked over to the corner. Mantha with it. Konechny's been out there over 2 minutes now. Wotherspoon. Wrister. Deflected. Goes to the far corner. Tippett collects the puck, brings it up the far side, couldn't clear it. Sid paws it down, feeds Dewar, near circle, fires off the post.
Penguins say it's in. They're celebrating. It went back bar and in. This is a goal. 2-0 Penguins.
Connor Dewar scores. The officials are talking. There was no red light, no signal, but the Penguins celebrate, and that's a good goal. Fans get 3 chances to celebrate. 2-0 Penguins early in the second.
The Penguins were all over the Flyers. So many chances right around Dan Vladar. It was shocking that one of them didn't find the back of the net, but then another turnover, one of the numerous turnovers by the Flyers on that shift as Sid came off as a fresh body, gloves it down, from glove to stick, gets it to Connor Dewar, and he rips it right upstairs where Mama keeps the peanut butter. It's 2-0 Penguins.
Connor Dewar now with his second goal in the last 2 games. Flyers in the Penguin zone. Bump towards the net. He scores. Alex Bump, the rookie, in his first career playoff game, fires it off Artur Shilovs, and the Flyers get one back. It's 2-1 Penguins.
I want another look at this one here because the original shot by Bump comes off of Shilovs, comes back to Bump, and he bumps it in. Does he bump it in off his glove, off his stick, off his body? Give me one more look at this one here. He goes wide. The original shot, and I beg your pardon, I was wrong on that one. It broke right through Shilov's short side, and there's that next shift. How important is that next shift as Bump just goes wide, and Alex Bump, who scored his first NHL goal in his first NHL game right here in Pittsburgh back in early March, makes it a 1-goal game again.
Bump had 5 goals in 17 games his rookie year. Again, scored in his first game, like you just mentioned. That was on his first shot. And now scores in his first NHL playoff game. But the Penguins lead 2-1. Here's Letang up ice over the Flyers line to Malkin. Far circle. Pass got blocked by Bump. Malkin takes a shoulder from Cates. Quick shot on net far circle. Letang couldn't get it past one of the Flyers. Fight for the puck in the far corner. Malkin drags it up the wall. Snaps it up to Letang. Far point to Girard. Near circle. High slot. Chinakhov. Shot fired. It's deflected. Flyers take it far side. Chip it out to the neutral zone, but Letang paws it down. Slung it rink wide to Ristolainen, out of his reach. Penguins take it back ahead. It's Ben Kindle over the Flyers line near side. Stops at the point, feeds Soderblom, far circle, cuts towards the net, has to curl around at the corner. Soderblom trying to dance around Travis Sanheim. Still keeping him on a thread. Shea's got it, near circle, towards the net, deflected, goes over to the far corner. Tumbles up the wall, Tippett will take it to center ice. Chop it out to the neutral zone as Ryan Shea races it down. 2-1 Penguins as the Penguins and Flyers share a couple of goals early in the second period. As the Penguins are offside entering the Flyers zone. Alex Bump scoring just 12 seconds after Connor Dewar made it 2-0 Pens.
Yeah, nothing fancy at all. As Bump is in the lineup to replace Matvei Michkov, who's the 7th overall pick in 2023 by the Flyers. He is a healthy scratch. Bump comes in and just goes wide on Parker Wotherspoon. Slips it between the skate and the stick of Wotherspoon, picks it up on the other side and just chisels a puck at the goal, and it finds a hole. Short side, glove side on Archer Sheeloff and trickles into the back of the net. But the Penguins seem undeterred here as they've gone right back to work.
Now they're in the Flyers zone. Rust has it far half wall, up to Karlsson, now snapped to Wotherspoon. Rister gets blocked and flutters over the netting into the stands. And a nice two-handed catch by a fan wearing a USA jersey. Accompanied by a couple of Flyers fans, hence the boos.
Yeah, I like that thought process. I like to see the Penguins defensemen do more of what I just saw from Parker Wotherspoon. It was a D-to-D pass from Karlsson to Wotherspoon. So as soon as Wotherspoon got it, he didn't stick handle, Joe. He got it, he just kind of curled it back and then snapped it right away. Now, it's a good block by Tippett, sticking out his right skate there, but more times than not, when you get it off your stick that quick and get it at the goal with traffic in front, good things are going to happen.
Face off to the right of Vladar. Fight for the puck in the near corner. Penguins lose it as Glendening will take it up ice over the Penguins line, chip it down to the corner. 14.5 to play in the second period. Penguins lead 2-1. Shot on net, fought up by Sheelovs. It's taken by Drysdale and behind the net. Centering pass, but Wotherspoon took it away. Played ahead to Crosby. He'll go rink wide to Raquel. Full flight over the Flyers line. Slides it to Russ, near wall, down to the corner, below the goal line, in behind the net. Got tied up by a couple of Flyers, still muscles his way through, then got tripped up a bit.
Broke his stick.
Oh, the Flyers
had to pull the plug on the play.
The Flyers dump it back into the Penguin zone. It's rolled up the near wall as Achari tries to shovel it out. Lizotte muscles it over the line, out to center ice, but now Sealer will take it for Philly. Chip it down to the Penguin zone. Rolls from the far corner to the near one. Shea pumps it up the wall. It's angled out to Achari. Now fed to Raquel off his stick down to the Flyers end. And that won't be icing as it's taken by the Flyers. Blake Lizotte with a heavy check into the near corner on Emil Andre. And then Achari was hunting after Dvorak. Couldn't finish off the check, but Solovyov takes it. He's got it over the Flyers line. Leaves it back for Lizotte. Now down to Dewar near circle. Rister saved by Vladar. Second attempt shoveled high in the net. Loose puck to the far half wall. Sent deep by Solovyov. Dewar crunched into the boards by Sealer. And Dewar was basically split in half on his check from behind from Nick Sealer. Went crumbling down. It's 2-1 Penguins with 13.5 to play in the second period. We'll go to a break. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
The heaviest metal credit card of all time. Rumored to be one of only 18 in existence. Plated with the very same tungsten that forged the International Space Station. And wielded at business dinners like a samurai sword. It's a classic corporate power move. But the real power move? Having end-to-end visibility on your most critical shipments. FedEx, the new power move.
At UPMC Hillman Cancer Center, we believe cancer care shouldn't just be good enough. It should be life-changing. As the region's only National Cancer Institute designated comprehensive cancer center, we provide groundbreaking treatments and innovative clinical trials with renowned cancer specialists and a compassionate support system for patients and their families. Discover more at upmchillman.com/lifechanger.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became the best-selling trucks in America. 33 million trucks later, we've kept that title.
every year since. And that's a formula we plan on repeating. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. The best-selling trucks in America for 49 years and counting. Based on 1977 to 2025 calendar year industry reported total sales.
Right before coming back from break, up on the video board, a few old school highlights of some significant moments in the Penguins and Flyers rivalry, and then up on the board, Mario Lemieux here at PPG Paints Arena attending this game.
That matters. I don't know how this one's going to turn out. 2-1 game, 13:32 left in the second period. But when you show 66 up on the big screen, I'm just saying, good things usually happen.
Connor Dewar made it 2-0 Penguins early in this second, and then Alex Bump with his first career NHL playoff goal got the Flyers on the board for the first time tonight and bring them within one. We'll get a face-off to the left of Dan Vladar. Tommy Novak to take the draw against Noah Cates, and the Flyers clear it out to center ice. Taken by Chris Letang in his own zone. Slide it over to Girard. The Penguins saw a 2-0 lead in the second period for the second straight game. But again, the Flyers get the next one as they dump it back down to the Penguins' end. This will be icing by Philly. 13 minutes to go. Penguins lead 2-1.
Well, building the future takes grit, and no one does grit like Pittsburgh. EQT is ready to unleash the build and power America's next big win. EQT, unleashing America's energy future.
Penguins still out shooting the Flyers 15-12. 11-9 in the first period. So far 4-3 here in the second. Tommy Novak to take the draw against Cates to the right of Vladar, and the Penguins almost had it. Chinakhov couldn't hang on to it as Novak just kind of tried to dart around the face-off circle after the puck was dropped. Now Sam Girard races it up ice far side, tried to get it ahead to Chinakhov in the neutral zone. Flyers take it the other way on the stick-up bump again in the slot. Shot fired. It's blocked. Malkin collects at the corner. Played it up the far side, but couldn't get it out. Now does poke it out to the neutral zone, but Bump will take it and sling it back down to the Penguins' end. 12.5 to play in the second. Penguins with a 2-1 lead over the Philadelphia Flyers. Chris Letang sends it all the way down ice. That'll be icing by the Penguins with 12:29 to go in the second.
Well, tomorrow night's Mega Millions jackpot now has an estimated annuity of $163 million. Yeah, $163 million. Don't forget to play at your local retailer or online. Pennsylvania lottery proceeds benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. You got to be 18 or older, and please play responsibly.
Face off to the right of Sheloff's. Trevor Zegras against Ben Kindle. Drop of the puck. Penguins have it. Letang will force it down. But a hustling. No, they'll wave off, or they'll call icing. Anthony Mantha was hustling towards that puck. He may have easily been the first one to get there. We'll get another face-off in the Penguin zone.
Yeah, they say it's a race to the dot. And tie goes to the defensive player. You'd say that was a tie? No?
Tie goes to the runner. Mantha was running. Face off to the right of Sheloff's. Kindle gets taken down by Zegras, but picks himself up. Chris Letang with it in behind Sheloff's net, ahead to the neutral zone. Jumped off the stick of Raquel, though. Zegras tried to shuffle a pass, past a couple of Penguins, but he swatted out to the Philly zone. As the Flyers chip it back down into the Penguins' end near corner. Gerard leaves it for Letang. Took a shoulder from Zegras, played out to the neutral zone. Ristolainen off the bench. He'll handle it at center ice and back skated into his own end. Up to Drysdale, who tees it down to the Penguin zone. Around the boards, it rights the shelf all the way. And a hard shoulder from Letang on Glendening. Letang got the worst of it, though. Crosby up ice, near side of the neutral zone. Rink-wide pass. It bounces off the far boards, goes to the end wall. We get a whistle blown here.
Yeah, offside Penguins.
Okay. 11:38 to go in the second. 2-1, the Penguins lead.
This game's kind of on the teeter-totter right now. You feel it, Joe?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of on the teeter-totter. And the Penguins really went to work. That was a hard-working couple of shifts. They were actually getting some fresh bodies out there on the do or goal. They got to get back to that, where they're just hunting. Pucks in the offensive zone and forcing turnovers, and then attacking the goal.
Flyers win the draw. They were outscored in the second period during the regular season, 97-87. Meanwhile, the Penguins outscored their opponents by 10 goals in the second period on their end. Ryan Shea takes it up ice in his own zone, snaps it to Mantha, hovering over the Penguins logo, chipped it down into the Flyers zone. A quick turnaround shot from Kindle, but it went wide.
Another turnover there by Vladar. He was really lucky. Kindle tried to from behind, after the turnover, from behind the goal line, tried to bank it off of Vladar. He hammered it so hard, he put it right between the legs of Vladar.
Yeah, the Flyers, Penguin zone. Wrister saved by Artur Shilovs to deny Hathaway at the far circle. He then gets tied up by Ryan Shea along the end boards. 11 minutes to go.
Sorry, partner. That's an outstanding save by Artur Shilovs, because he had to look through the legs and the stick of Ryan Shea. Shea didn't have a good gap on Hathaway, and he knew it. So he's just trying to make sure he takes, at least take the body of Hathaway. And I thought that Shea maybe kind of made himself, I don't want to say, translucent is not the word.
Transparent?
Transparent, thank you. Just so he didn't screen his goaltender. He made sure he got in front of Hathaway, but kind of get out of the way, more or less, to make sure that Shilovs could see that puck coming as best possible.
Wotherspoon trying to stretch a pass ahead to Russ. It goes right on Vladar, and it almost looked like he bobbled for a moment.
I'm telling you, right from game number one, I thought that Dan Vladar looks a little shaky. Number one, when he has to play the puck. Number two, he looks exceptionally shaky when he has to go out and skate. He's 6'5". He's a big dude. When he has to go out and skate and then handle the puck, that's when it gets really clunky.
He has started all 5 games of this series. Prior to this year, he had 3 postseason appearances. None of them starts, and all 3 with different teams. There's a shot from Erik Karlsson, taken away by Konechny, and now he trips Konechny to draw the penalty.
Details. Just a little thing.
As Wotherspoon now throws a jab at Hathaway. Rather, Porter Martone in behind Shilov's net. The Penguins are going to be shorthanded here. They lead 2-1 with 10.5 to play in the second.
Yeah, Karlsson from his right point position. Here's a call. Yeah, one touches a puck to try to get it towards the goal. The only problem with that is Konechny was right in his face. That's a play where you kind of live to fight another day. Throw it in the corner. Don't try to do too much. When you've got somebody, within 1.5 feet of you, to try to make that play when you're the last man back, it's just too risky for me, Joe.
Well, the Penguins are 1 for 1 on the PK tonight. Now trying to go 2 for 2. 10:37 to go in the second period. Penguins lead 2-1. Flyers have the puck, Penguin zone. Drysdale, high slot. The Zegras near half wall. Brings it to the point, shovels it down to the corner. Cut off by Shea and cleared down by Shea. 15 seconds shaved off from the Penguins PK. Drysdale collects in his own zone, dishes it to Zegras near side. He starts to gallop to the neutral zone over the Penguins line, slings it around the boards. Tumbles to the far corner, cut off by Cates. Rolled over by Zegras. Now it tumbles over to the near corner. Shea boxed out by Martone, fighting for the puck along the near corner boards. Lazat trying to dig it free. It squeaks out. No one's got a hold of it just yet. Now Zegras pokes at it. He takes it in behind. Centering pass shot wide by Forster. Chris Letang will take the loose puck and clear it down.
Sneaky little pass from Zegras in behind the goal to Forster. And boy, that looked like a well-orchestrated play that just went wide. This puck goes right into the bench here of the Flyers.
Exactly 1 minute to go on the Penguins PK. We've got 9.5 to play in this second period. Penguins lead 2-1.
The Penguins had all 4 of their penalty killers down below us in the corner, and they lost that 50-50 puck. And Connor Dewar was the guy in front, a forward, and he was so in between. Should I go chase Zegras? Should I stay with Forrester? And because he was in between, that pass got from Zegras to Forrester. That was really close.
He just ripped it wide of the net. Here's a face-off win by the Penguins and a clear by Parker Wotherspoon. 50 seconds to go on the Penguins PK. Stretch pass ahead to Konechny. Penguin zone down to the corner. Taken out by Girard a bit. Rung up the boards and out to the neutral zone it goes. Tippett collects. Gets it over to Dvorak. Skates over the Penguins logo. Tippett over the Penguins line. Sends it wide of the net. Far corner. It's played up the wall by Barkey. Brings it to the point. Curls around to Chari. Down to the circle. Pitched it up. Ristolainen high slot. Rister blocked by Achari. Konechny gets it back to Ristolainen. Barkey back to Ristolainen. High slot. 20 to go on the Penguins PK. Ristolainen dancing down the blue line. Rister tumbled wide. Over to the near corner. Konechny slings it up the far wall to Barkey. Collects to the circle. Pitched up to Ristolainen. High slot. Dances with the puck. Barkey far circle. Back to Ristolainen above the near circle. To Barkey in the slot. Whiffed on a pass. Konechny's got it to Ristolainen. Carlson out of the box. We're back to 5-on-5. Flyers still with it. Rister wide of the net. Rebound to the near half boards. Carlson pokes at it. Kept alive by Philly. Chipped in behind the Penguin net. Girard pokes it back over to Wotherspoon. We're back to 5-on-5. Penguins 2 for 2 on the PK tonight. They lead 2-1 with 8:20 to go in the second.
McGill has been the difference maker here in the last couple games for sure. Smart, aggressive hockey by the PK.
Tommy Novak dancing in the Flyers zone. Couldn't finish anything off, though, as Philly will chip it back down to the Penguins' end. This will be icing by the Flyers. 8:05 to go in the second. Penguins lead 2-1.
Want some birthdays?
I would love them.
Here we go. We got a few. Denver Barkey, 21. Drake Batherson, 28. Nico Mikkola, 30. Paul Byron, 37. Semyon Varlamov, 38. Pierre-Marc Bouchard, 42. Mark Stewart, 42. Bob McGill, 64. Mike Krushelnyski, 66. Murray Bannerman, remember him? Hawks goaltender, 69. And Keith Magnuson, we lost him in 2003 at the age of 56. Would be 79 if he was with us here today. Happy birthday, boys.
Happy birthday, boys. Yeah, it took me a moment because the only time I hear Bannerman is when I hear Pat Foley say, Bannerman! Big save in the playoffs. Here comes Chinikov racing in the Flyers zone. Swings a wrister just wide of the net. Malkin feeds it. Letang one-timer fought off by Vladar. Loose puck to the far side and he'll freeze it. Couple of real close chances by the Penguins, but it stays 2-1 the lead over the Flyers. 7:44 to go in the second. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Sirius XM's Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7 takes you backstage and behind the scenes with the superstars of WWE.
Road Dogg, anything new going on in your life?
I believe that human relationships are more important than my friggin' bank account.
Would Danhausen like to have more in-ring competition?
Yeah, I'll wrestle as much as they want me to. That would be good. Trish Stratus.
When I took that steel chair shot to the head, that's when I knew I made it.
Sirius XM's home for wrestling conversation is Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7. Channel 156 in the car and on the Sirius XM app.
Hey, Jim Rome here. What's cracking?
Hi.
Hope you're enjoying the game, and when you're not taking in a game, find us on Sirius Channel 161, XM Channel 206. In fact, we'll be there every weekday afternoon, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you've got something you want to break down from this game, you know where to find us. Just make sure you have it taken. Don't suck.
Step your game up.
That has never changed. In fact, this show has never changed. We're just back home, and it's great to be there. Sirius 161, XM 206. See you there.
Join me, Ford Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen. Walks in, put it between his legs. Shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Penguins still working with a 2-1 lead over the Flyers. 7:44 to go in this second period. The Penguins are 2 for 2 on the PK. A big reason why they're up by 1 right now.
Yeah, once again, getting Blake Lizotte back in the lineup, especially for that penalty kill. And you had arguably your best penalty-killing defenseman sitting in the box in Erik Karlsson. So in a one-goal game, that's a huge kill.
Into the face-off to the left of Dan Vladar, who has made 14 saves on the Penguins tonight. Penguins out shooting Philly 16-12. Raquel to take the draw, rolls over to the far corner that Sanheim will collect and sling down to the Penguins end. Jumped over the stick of Solovyov, racing after it. Hathaway, he's got it. Then gets pinned into the wall by Solovyov. Those two jabbing at the puck at the far corner. Taken away by Wotherspoon. He keeps it pinned along the boards. Now Raquel poked it out right in front of the net. Luckily, Russ was able to kick it out of harm's way. Crosby will take it to the neutral zone. Feeds Solovyov, who dumps it down to the Flyers end. Rolls over to the far corner. Turned over. Raquel's got it. Curls in behind the net. Brings it to the circle. Snapped up. Shea one-timer. Never got through traffic. Russ trying to get the loose puck in the slot, but the Flyers will take it.
The shot by Shea hits Sid on the inside of the knee. He can put no weight on his left foot at all. Hobbles to the Penguins bench.
He is in excruciating pain. He'll go right down the tunnel. Puck tumbles out to the neutral zone. Letang tries to cut it off from Tippett. He lost his stick while trying to do so, but Soderblom comes away with the puck. Sidney Crosby just went down the tunnel for the Penguins after blocking a shot from one of his own teammates. But the Penguins lead 2-1 with 6:40 to go in the second. Flyers reverse it up the near side. Tip it to the neutral zone. Shovels it over to Zegras. He's over the Penguin line. Far circle. Taken away by Elmer Soderblom with a back check. Anthony Mantha feeds Sam Girard over the Flyers line. Nearly offside, but kept it onside. Pass goes to the feet of Denver Barkey. He takes it away and plays it out to center ice. The Penguins will collect off the far boards. Letang pumps it back over to the near side. It angles right on net of Dan Vladar. Mantha chasing after it, but Sealer gets to it first. Slams Sealer into the boards as Emil Andre peels it over at the far wall. Flyers take it up ice. Dump it down to the Penguin zone. Hit the corner partitioner of the Flyers bench. 6:04 to go in this second period. Penguins with a 2-1 lead.
Partner, I'm not sure where that shot hit Sidney Crosby. At first, I thought maybe it hit him in the midsection, but the way that he hobbled and couldn't put any weight on his left leg has me concerned.
Yeah, once he got to his feet, he tried to put some pressure and kind of glide towards the bench, but it happened so slowly. He had all the trouble in the world. We're getting a look at the replay right now. And yeah, caught him in the inside of his left knee.
Yeah, there's no padding there. And that's a different pain.
We'll keep an eye on that. Penguins lead 2-1 under 6 to play in the second period. Nola Chari stemmed into the boards by Tyson Forster along the corner. Penguins trying to dig it free. As it's pried up the wall by the Flyers. They have it. York high slot. Gets it to Drysdale. One-timer wide of the net. Long rebound off the end boards and then the back of the cage. Forster brings it over to the corner. Still pinned along the wall. As Dewar tries to dig it free. Flyers will keep it back along the boards again. Carlson worked it over to the wall, but then got crunched into the boards by Cates. Spun back the other way to the near side. Played out by Wotherspoon. Avoids the check from Forster, but the Penguins couldn't clear it just yet. Having some trouble getting control of the puck right now. It's rolled to the near corner. Nolachari got it up the far side. Swatted back in by Philly. Cates overskated it. Far corner Konechny. He'll play it off the wall. Chip it up to the point. Sanheim far point. Down the blue line. Ristolainen with it. Back to Sanheim.
Those cheers are for Sid. Just came back on the bench.
And they score. A wrister from the far circle. Travis Sanheim fires it towards the net. There was plenty of traffic, and the Flyers have tied things up with just under 5 minutes to go in the second period.
It's little things, Joe. As soon as Connor Dewar turned this puck over just inside his own blue line, I had a bad feeling in my bones. You could feel the Flyers got a lot of life from that, and this shot by Sanheim actually gets deflected in by Erik Karlsson. I'm not sure if Karlsson tried to knock it out of midair with his stick. One of those situations, just let it go as a defenseman, because Sheloff's had it lined up. There wasn't much traffic at all, but I think because Karlsson wanted to knock it out of midair with his stick, he ends up deflecting it into his own goal, and we're tied at 2.
The Flyers erase a 2-goal deficit in this second period. They tie things up with just under 5 minutes to play. Dump it down to the Penguin zone again, far corner. Played up the wall as Novak digs after it. 2 Penguins and 2 Flyers going after the puck along the end boards. As Novak shoveled it up to Mantha. Rather, Malkin, he couldn't get it out as Chris Letang is pinned along the end boards by Konechny right now. Both of them tied up. Now loose puck in the crease. Fired. Saved by Shilov. Sprawling out front. It's kicked out to Chinikov. He'll take it the other way. Igor Chinikov through the neutral zone. Takes it over the Flyers line. Left it for Malkin. Back to Chinikov in the circle. He keeps it alive. Dances around up above the circle. Curls around at the point and swings it around the boards. To Letang near half wall. He'll shovel it off the end boards to Malkin. In behind the net. Centering pass. Letang tried to kick it to himself. Couldn't. Flyers clear it out to the neutral zone. We're tied at 2 with 4 to go in the second. Penguins had a 2-0 lead at one point in the second period. And now they've tied things up. A rush. Far circle. Downstairs. Raquel redirected just wide. Flyers take it the other way. They've got Zegras in front. He's in the Penguin zone. Slows down at the circle. Leaves it for Tippett. Back to Zegras out of his reach. And behind the net. Gets crunched into the wall by Erik Karlsson. Rolled over to the far corner. Zegras, far circle. Shot wide of the net. Rebound all the way to the near point. Kept alive by Drysdale. Poked out to the neutral zone by Rust. Flyers will send it in, but the Penguins will collect. 3:25 to go in the second. We're tied at 2. Crosby dumps it down to the Flyers end. Played by Vladar. As Russ kept it alive. Loose puck in the slot. It's taken by Raquel. He'll feed Letang. Far circle. Swung around the boards. Looking for Crosby near corner. Had to handle the tumbling puck. Reversed it to the far point for Letang. Back down to the corner. Raquel gives it some extra juice. It gets up to the near point for Shea. Shea will send it around the boards. Crosby waiting in behind Vladar's net. Dances along the trapezoid. Plays it up to Letang. Far point. Drags. Wrister. Blocked. Sailed high in the net. Long rebound. Bounce behind Vladar. They score! The amount of bounces is unheard of. The Penguins play pinball on Dan Vladar, and they take a 3-2 lead. Last touch, Chris Letang, his second goal in the last 2 games.
Well, earlier in this game, the Flyers had a monster shift to bounce right back to make it a 2-1 game. Here the Flyers make it 2-2. Next shift, Crosby line goes out. Lunch pail, hard hat, and the steel-toed work boots. They just went to work hunting pucks from low to high, high to low, and throwing pucks to the net. What an absolute crazy bounce off Dan Vladar, and it sits underneath him, and somehow, some way, he feels it. He knows it's under there. He doesn't want to move, and then when he finally does move, he kicks it into his own goal. I think this is going to go to Chris Letang. 3-2, good guys.
Penguins take the lead back here in the second period. We've got 2.5 to play. They poke it out to the neutral zone. Porter Martone over the Penguins line. Glides along the circle. Coughed it up to Elmer Soderblom. He feeds Mantha. Darting into the Flyers zone. Far circle towards the net. Stripped away. And he crashes into the cage, knocking it off its moorings. And now Kindle pushed away by Sanheim. Anthony Mantha throws a couple of chucks into 2 Flyers that go after him along the end boards.
If the Flyers want to be mad at Travis Sanheim, because he threw Mantha into Dan Vladar. Mantha's going hard to the net. Borderline, maybe you call a penalty against Sanheim, maybe not. But it's more of a, you don't call a penalty there because it's a body check. He's just body checking, but he's body checking Mantha into his own goalie.
Penguins fans have some thoughts. As the Penguins lead Philly 3-2. We've got 2:24 to go in this second period, and what a wild one it's been. We'll take a break. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Hi, Staggy here to tell you about another great product from Nova Scotia. Mr. Donair Beef Jerky and Sticks, the official jerky of the Pittsburgh Penguins. In Canada, Donair is similar to gyro meat, but it's seasoned beef, not lamb. And like 87, Mr. Donair Beef Jerky is absolutely off the charts. It's keto-friendly, high in protein, and Mr. Donair's gyro seasoning makes it the best jerky you'll ever taste. You'll find it on Amazon, Cohen Markets, Turkey Hill, Country Fair, and PPG Paints Arena. Mr. Donair, the official jerky of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Keeping your home warm in the winter and cold in the summer, Mitsubishi Electric is a top manufacturer of heating and air conditioner products. And they're hiring. To elevate your career in engineering, project management, product assembly, and more, visit meppi.com/careers.
It takes real beer to quench real thirst, to give you real satisfaction. Iron City Beer is the perfect result of the skill and knowledge developed through 164 years in the business. Go on, grab one.
As the Pens face the Flyers, we're inviting fans to take this rivalry off the ice and into the community. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital is hosting a Pittsburgh versus Philly fundraising challenge through the St. Jude Walks on October 3rd, with fans in both cities raising critical funds to help kids fighting cancer and other life-threatening diseases. Every dollar makes a difference, and families never receive a bill from St. Jude. Join the Pittsburgh team and support this great cause at stjude.org/walkpittsburgh.
Well, a hard-working shift from the Penguins turns into some well-deserved puck luck. A blast from Chris Letang at the far point was deflected, bounced off the end boards, bounced off the backside of Dan Vladar, and snuck over the goal line to give the Penguins back the lead. It's 3-2 with 2:24 to go in the second. We'll get a face-off in front of the Penguins bench.
And don't look now, but Chris Letang has goals in back-to-back games. You're right, partner. That's as crazy a bounce as you're ever going to see. It's unbelievable. Goaltenders, they just have a feel. They just kind of know the puck is underneath them. As this one eluded the glove of Vladar, and the way it went off the end wall, it didn't hit the back of the net. It hit the back of the heel of Vladar, and then as he was just kind of wanting to just get down on the butterfly and just freeze on the goal line, he flinched a little bit, and when he did, he drew the puck right into his own goal.
You're right, Letang with his second goal in his second game. He had what turned out to be the game winner in Philly Saturday night. Chris Letang had 3 goals during the regular season. 2 of them were overtime game winners. Now he has 2 goals in the postseason with 1 game winner. Right now, it's the deciding goal. Also, Sidney Crosby picking up his 4th assist on that goal as well. Tommy Novak in the slot, but the Penguins are offside. 1:57 to go in the second period. Penguins lead 3-2.
I'm just watching Igor Chinakhov. It's a battle right now. It's a battle for Chinakhov just to get some flow. You know, he's trying to fight through it. And throw Evgeny Malkin in there too, because the two of them feed off each other so well. It's not an easy game for them right now. Just because the puck is just kind of jumping on their stick all the time. It's not free-flowing for 2 super skilled guys. For Igor Chinakhov, this is going to sound stupid, but I'll say it anyways. You just got to simplify your game, man. You got to shoot the puck, use your strength, use your weapon, and shoot the puck on the goal. He's just missing the net way too many times.
As Dan Muse said after morning skate earlier today, he's had his chances, just has yet to find the back of the net. And Igor Chinakhov put up 21 goals during the regular season, with 18 of them coming in a Penguins uniform. 1:25 to go in the second period. Penguins lead 3-2. Right now the puck at the near corner of the Penguins zone. It's rolled up the wall as Rickard Rakell will shovel it down to the Flyers' end. Puck on edge. It won't be far enough for icing. Sanheim races it down and pitches it to Ristolainen near side. He's pressured by Russ, but still gets it over to Sanheim. Now Sanheim pressured by Lazat. Russ taps it down the far wall, taken back by Denver Barkey. Flyers work it out to center ice. Ristolainen skates over the Penguins logo. Sanheim slings it down to the Penguins end, rolls over to the near corner. Letang will reverse it to Girard. Didn't get all of it. Played it up the far wall, but Olachari still angles it out to center ice. The Penguins dump it into the Flyers zone, but it took a weird bounce and went out of play. 46 seconds to go in the second period. Penguins lead 3-2.
Once again, fairly low event game. It's been a great hockey game so far, but combined we only have 31 shots, 17 for the Penguins, 14 for the Flyers. So 5 here for the Flyers in the second period and 6 for the Penguins.
No power play goals so far tonight. Flyers 0 for 2, the Penguins 0 for 1. Dumped into the Flyers zone, took a weird bounce off the end boards. Vladar played it, was forced to play it. As it goes over to the far corner, Olachari kicks it down the wall. Dewar races in there as well, tries to rim it up the far boards. Under 30 to play in the second period. Lazat far circle, kept it alive, got it to Dewar. Now the Penguins cough it up. Flyers take it to center ice as Owen Tippett chips it over the Penguin line, but he was closed off by Sam Girard. 15 seconds to go in the period. Chris Letang up ice, slides it to Girard over the Flyers line, near side, down to the circle, corner, throws it off the end boards to Mantha far point. 5 seconds to go. Letang swings it down to the far corner, rolls over to the near side. 2 seconds, down to 1, and that'll do it. 40 minutes in the books of Game 5, and the Penguins still hanging on to a 1-goal lead. Philly was able to tie it with 2 goals in this second, but Chris Letang's wicked bouncer finds its way past Dan Vladar, and the Penguins lead 3-2 through 2.
These are back-to-back games now with the Penguins, again, because they've been able to, for the most part, hold the lead in this game. They're making the Flyers just play hockey. To play buttoned up, no shenanigans, none of this back alley hockey that the Flyers are playing in games number 1 and number 2 that got the Penguins distracted. It's just been a good old-fashioned hockey game.
So hopefully 20 more minutes of this good old-fashioned hockey game to bring us to a Game 6 in Philadelphia. Brian Metzer just popped into the booth. He'll have the second intermission report for us, along with a chat with the old 2-Niner. It's all here on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Hockey's not just a game. It's a clash of sticks. It's sprays of ice and crazy saves. It's slap shots and the scrape of blades. It's an endless series of touch-and-go moments that make you feel alive. Through the highs and lows, you march your way down the long road to the playoffs alongside your team, with your jersey on and your heart on your sleeve, because they couldn't do it without you. And when you're there for your team, the NHL store is there for you. Check out the largest selection of official NHL gear at NHLshop.com. A Fanatics experience.
We're the Pittsburgh Penguins.
We're going to flip the script. We have the pen. We are going to write our own story, man.
We are going to write our own story.
All those people.
Who's the author of that story?
We are.
We are.
We are.
ShortForward.com. Yes, sir. And this is the evidence of what happens when you have a team, Phil.
And do you know what we're going to say when we do it? One inventory, 4 locations. West Mifflin, Harmarville.
Oh, that sounds like a commercial, Phil.
ShortForward.com. ShortForward.com.
The Penguins have flipped the script on expectations this season, and now it's time for playoff hockey. Tickets are on sale now. Here's your chance to be there as they write the next chapter of history.
Crosby sends it high slot, hustling Carlson, keeps it onside. Rister down low, they score! Evgeny Malkin with the touch-in on the far side. It's his 1,400th career point.
Make sure you're in the building for every moment and secure your seats now at PittsburghPenguins.com. This Pittsburgh Penguins moment is brought to you by the officers, members, and families of Local Union Number 5 of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. Our members have lived and worked in the region since 1897, providing all of the electrical and telecommunications needs of commercial, industrial, and residential customers. We offer a state-of-the-art training center that is second to none and internationally recognized. Local Union Number 5 of the IBW will be here to stand by you for all of your electrical installation needs today, well into the future. Our members show their hometown pride supporting the Pittsburgh Penguins.
This is the Penguins Live Intermission Report.
And welcome into our second intermission report, where the Penguins have a 3-2 lead over the Philadelphia Flyers here at PPG Paints Arena. Brian Metzer here with you. And the period started with the Penguins putting on a significant amount of pressure. Finally get Connor Dewar into some space. He's coming down the left wing, and he fires a shot over the shoulder of Dan Vladar. It was in and out of the net so quick, nobody knew if it was a goal. Penguins knew it was a goal. They celebrated, and the officials had to change their minds because they immediately waved it off. But it ended up standing up. It was Dewar's second goal of the playoffs. Crosby and Lizotte the assists on that. Unfortunately, just 12 seconds later, Alex Bump, making his playoff debut, gets in, and he gets one past Artie Shilos that kind of went through him and into the net. Ristolainen and Cates the assists on that one. And then they would actually get the game tied up when Travis Sanheim would come down the left wing, put a shot through traffic. Parker Wotherspoon and Christian Dvorak were right in front, but his shot tipped off the stick of Erik Karlsson just enough to change the angle on it, and it beat Shilos on the short side. And you would start to clench up a little bit. You're worried. You're like, oh, what's going to go on here? It's a 2-2 game after the Penguins are in such great position. Well, they come back. They get a little bit of a fluky one themselves. Chris Letang, back-to-back goals now in his these past 2 games. He takes a shot. It goes off the back wall, comes to the back of Vladar. Looked like maybe it caught his arm. Fell right down in between his legs and trickles into the net. Ricard Raquel tried to knock it in, but the puck did all the traveling it needed to on its own. Sidney Crosby and Ryan Shea with the assists on that one. Unfortunately, there was a scary moment. Sidney Crosby took a Ryan Shea shot off his right knee, and it kind of just caught that soft spot right under your kneecap is what it looked like to me. He was down, had some trouble getting himself up, had to limp off to the bench, limp down the runway, but was able to come back and get an assist on that Chris Letang goal. There was a penalty in the period, though. Erik Karlsson, he went for tripping. He and Parker Wotherspoon didn't really agree with it being a call, but the Penguins were able to take care of business on that. When we come back, hockey talk with the old 2-9er. Phil Bourque joins me next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Dear team, thanks for showing up for me with the best face paint and taunting the other team in the kindest way. For standing on your seat when I need the support and screaming until your throat hurts because you know it makes a difference. For wearing my number. For being the best teammates a player could ask for. At Highmark, we're proud to be cheering alongside the best teammates. Fans like you. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Official health plan of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Spotting the perfect fit is kind of your thing. So when it comes to finding a used car, start your search at FordBlueAdvantage.com and find the perfect certified pre-owned vehicle at your local Ford dealer. One that comes with serious perks, like a thorough inspection, a Ford-backed warranty, even a Carfax report. Because you know what they say, the best finds are the ones that feel made for you. Ford Blue Advantage, used car buying that's built for you. Available at participating dealers only. See your dealer for details and limitations.
This is Labatt, brewed for the hockey fans who yell, shoot it from the cheap seats, and scream, ref, you suck, like it ever worked. You pound on the glass, spill your beer, and still act like you're running the power play. But hockey wouldn't be hockey without fans like you and a Labatt in hand. Labatt, we're brewed for the roast. Enjoy responsibly. Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York.
Kelly's Riverside Saloon has 350 Labatt Blue bottles during all Penguins games.
Tender Care Learning Centers, the early education professionals, has been providing quality child care and preschool education for over 40 years. To find one of our 20 convenient locations near you, visit tendercarelc.org. Tender Care Learning Centers is the child care provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
No matter the occasion, there's always a reason to celebrate with a DQ ice cream cake. Creamy DQ soft serve and the chocolatey crunch center is great at any get-together. Customize yours today at DQ.com. DQ is the official ice cream and ice cream cake of the Penguins.
This is the Penguins Live Intermission Report.
Penguins 3, Flyers 2 after 2 at PPG Paints Arena. Brian Metzer back here with you, and now joined by the old 2-9er, Phil Bourque. And Borky, for me, they still have a number of shots wide or missed the net today or blocked, but I feel like at least it appears they're doing a better job of getting him on Vladar, making him work harder, making his life a little more difficult tonight.
Yeah, I concur. A combination of driving to the net more, having more of a purpose of getting pucks to the net, getting bodies for second and third opportunities. Yeah, a significant increase of all of those. And number one for me is those numbers, and we talk about them all the time because there's only so many numbers we get right on the stat sheet. But these ones matter. The attempts / blocked and the missed shots. And when you combine those two,
it's up to 24 tonight.
Yeah, that's, I think it should be in the teens. Yeah. That's the kind of worst case scenario. When you start getting up into the 20s and the 30s and even the 40s, the Penguins, I think they had one game there earlier, it was 48.
Yeah, it was really.
That's absurd.
It was 20 plus of each.
Right. When I feel like there's been some rebounds to be had, but you're not going to get any rebounds if you're trying to go far post and in all the time. I just think, especially come playoff time, I mean, you watch other games like I do.
Oh, for
you see so many goals being scored by just getting that initial shot on the goal.
And I felt like the ones that they did put on goal, they were with authority, and Vladar is kicking out some huge rebounds right into the slot. So now the next thing is get some bodies there so you can get rewarded for it.
No, and just a good example, you remember in the first period, Anthony Mantha came down the left wing. He was actually outside the dot, but he shot far pad. He put it on goal. He had Sam Girard driving to the far post. It didn't connect to a goal, but that kind of thinking right there, with the player driving to the net, shot off the pad, pass off the pad, however you want to stamp it, it's a very effective play. In fact, some teams actually work on it over and over and over again in practice. I remember Dan Boswell used to work on it all the time, and players would anticipate that puck. It's a tough play for the goaltender to control those type of rebounds.
Is it tough to coach players to do that? Only because in this series, the Penguins have multiple opportunities to go pass off pad. And I watched a couple of their games where they didn't do it too, and I'm thinking, I would always think to do that. If you and I are on a 2-on-1, I'm not going to just, try and force it to you. I'll pass off pad. You get the rebound. You can maybe have a tap in.
Yeah, the easy answer is no, it's not hard to coach it. But with a limited practice time, it's tough to repeat it. It's hard to just show it on video. You can, but unless you repeat it over and over again with drills where you actually see the results by driving to the net and that feel of the shooter putting it off that far pad and putting it on net. It's something that's probably more difficult this year because of the limited practice time.
Borky, we have about a minute left here, but I wanted your take on two quick things. First, Anthony Mantha, I know that he hasn't had a great playoff career, but here with the Penguins, it's been a struggle. He's been very noticeable tonight. I credit you for your pregame interview. Maybe you got him going. And the other thing is, what do you want to see in the third to close it out?
No, in the interview, I just asked him, did he talk to his grandfather, Andre Pronovo, who's about to be 90 this summer. He said not that much because of his age, but he said, every single game, I try to remind myself one of the most important things he ever taught me was to shoot the puck through the net. Try to shoot it through the net. And so we're seeing him with just a lot more purpose in his
fire
game.
today.
He's got a little fire in his belly. He's kind of walked that tightrope a little bit by getting physically involved, but I think it's bringing out the best of him.
Yeah, and now, just a quick thought, Borky, 10 seconds. Close this one out. How are we going to do it?
Defense.
Yep.
Yeah, defense. Have your best defensive period of the season because your season is on the line.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Borky. Thanks for this. I hope it's not our last one.
Talk to you Game 6.
All right, my friend, that is Phil Bork, and as he said, we'll reconvene for Game 6 when we come back. News from around the league on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Hey, Pittsburgh fans, this is Paul Steigerwald. In hockey, big goals cause big momentum shifts. As we all know, our Penguins have scored a lot of big goals over the years. As a founding partner of the Penguins, PPG also likes big goals and is pursuing them off the ice to better the Pittsburgh community and the world. They develop solutions that preserve natural resources with the goal to protect and beautify our world. PPG Paints Arena is proud to be the first LEED Gold certified NHL arena. We like big goals because when we score them, we all win.
This is Phil Bork, the old 2-9er. Smith's is the official hot dog of the Pittsburgh Penguins and PPG Paints Arena, with recipes over 85 years old. Ask for Smith's hot dogs by name at Giant Eagle and other fine retailers. Smith's, it's a hot dog night in Pittsburgh. SmithsHotDogs.com. What is life-changing medicine? Is it returning to the playing field or your favorite hiking path after an injury? Or running with your grandkids after a joint replacement? At UPMC, life-changing medicine is all those things. Through innovative research, rehabilitation, and advanced surgical procedures, our experts get you back to what you love doing. UPMC, changing healthcare, changing lives. Life-changing medicine.
Pittsburgh-based EQT Corporation is the top natural gas producer in the United States and is a proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Penguins' pathway to net zero. EQT is an industry leader in cutting emissions and using our region's clean resources to replace dirtier sources of energy overseas. EQT and the Penguins are focused on achieving key climate goals and reducing emissions across Pittsburgh and beyond. Visit EQT.com to learn more about how EQT is moving towards the future and setting the standard for production of affordable, reliable, and clean energy.
The Pittsburgh Penguins and Mitsubishi Electric have teamed up to transform the game day experience with the new state-of-the-art Diamond Vision video display system. See this display in action and find out why they are known as the makers of amazing by visiting MitsubishiElectric.com today.
This segment of the Penguins Live Intermission Report is brought to you by Smith's Hot Dogs, proud sponsor of the Penguins and official hot dogs at PPG Paints Arena.
Penguins ahead of the Flyers 3-2 after 2 periods of play in this win-or-go-home situation at PPG Paints Arena. And as you heard Borky say, defense, defense, defense. Lock it down, gentlemen, and live to fight another day. Brian Metzer back here with you. And couple quick tidbits. The National Hockey League will begin to announce the finalists for the 2026 NHL Awards beginning tomorrow, Tuesday, April 28th. So that schedule is going to roll through the week. It starts with the Ted Lindsay Award finalists tomorrow, and we'll move into the Vezina on Wednesday. The Wild finally going to get a couple of their players back for Game 5 in their first-round series. Matt Ciccarello and Yakov Trenin, they've been out for that team throughout, but they've been able to weather it and stay alive long enough to get them back. So that's good news for them. And tonight, you're going to see the Utah Mammoth take on the Vegas Golden Knights in the nightcap here tonight. And Logan Cooley points in all 3 games of that, including a game winner in Game 2. And they'll look to take a 3-1 lead in that opening round series. So we'll see if the local product can take care of some business. When we come back here in Pittsburgh, Joe Brand, the old 2-9er Phil Bork, they'll have third period action for you next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Hear every game of the NBA playoffs on SiriusXM as the Thunder try to fend off challengers for their crown.
Rainbow Three is up and in at the buzzer. Cha-chinga Thunder Moneyball. Gilgeous-Alexander, what can't he do?
And throughout the playoffs, get closer to the storylines that matter on NBA Radio, Channel 86.
The playoffs is what make legacies. This is how you build your name.
Listen to the hometown broadcasts of every NBA playoff game on your radio and the SiriusXM app.
Feel the pulse-pounding drama of the UEFA Champions League knockout stage on SiriusXM FC. The stakes are raised as Europe's elite.
Fantastic start for PSG. The Bayern Beauty Machine is on the roll again. Arsenal are running riot in North London.
Battle in a quest for club soccer's ultimate prize.
This is the place where dreams come true.
This is where legends are made. The Champions League knockout stage on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SiriusXM app.
There's nothing like playoff hockey, and nobody gets you closer to the ice than SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. Our experts get you ready for each matchup.
The Edmonton Oilers can outscore any mistakes in this series.
And interviews with the league's heavy hitters.
John Cooper, head coach of the Tampa Bay Lightning. I love listening to you guys in the morning.
It's hockey talk all day. And the top playoff games every night. Stay connected to the quest for the cup on NHL Network Radio, Channel 91 in the car, and on the SiriusXM app.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
Of all the players who were drafted in 2019, which player has scored the most goals in the fewest games? Cole Caulfield. Size does matter. You don't want a team of 5'9" defensemen. But scoring goals is the hardest thing to do in sports. And Cole Caulfield scores a lot of goals.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias. Weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Here's the tang.
24/7
goal. He missed the target.
Draisaitl back the other way for the winners.
Draisaitl scores!
2 periods in the books, and 1 left for the Penguins to try and force a Game 6 of this best-of-7 series, a 3-2 lead over the Philadelphia Flyers, as the Penguins are eyeing a 3-2 series lead for the Flyers, as the Pens are looking for their second straight win in a do-or-die situation.
Well, you're fighting for your life. So, when I talked to Anthony Mantha, I asked him what was the most significant thing between games 1, 2, and 3, and then games 4, the game 4 that the Penguins won. He said desperation. So there's a fine line between desperation and urgency. A nice blend would be nice here, but defense first. And I'm certainly not saying go into any kind of a shell, but a defensive conscience, a presence, an urgency, and the blue lines need to be your friend. Everything out at yours, everything in at theirs.
I also like what Mantha had to say about wise words from his grandfather. When you bring the work, you bring the tenacity, your talent will show.
Yeah.
Well, the Penguins are hoping mantras like that can help them out for the next 20 minutes. 3-2 they lead the Flyers, and now they're attacking from left to right in their alternate third gold sweaters with Artur Shilovs in net. He's made 12 saves tonight. The Philadelphia Flyers attacking from right to left in their road white sweaters. We're underway here in the third. Opening face-off is brought to you by number 1 Cochrane, Club 1 Rewards. Rink-wide pass to Raquel towards the net, and a standing Dan Vladar will make the glove save to keep it 3-2 Penguins just 13 seconds into this third period.
We used to have a little saying in our room, and it applies here. 20 miles for 20 smiles.
Penguins are looking for their first home playoff win since 2022 against the New York Rangers. Face off to the right of Vladar. And Ristolainen comes away with it. Couldn't clear it. Crosby pawed it down. Got it to Russ. Carving through. Forehand kicked wide by Vladar. What a save by the Flyers goaltender. As Sidney Crosby reached up, pawed the puck down, fed Brian Rust, who had a million moves through the Flyer crease, but Vladar with the left pad save keeps it 3-2 Penguins.
The turnover by the Flyers. This is the second time Sidney Crosby has gloved a turnover by the Flyers down to his stick. And you're right. This puck was rolling on Brian Rust. I'm surprised you got a fresh sheet of ice. But he gives Vladar his best move. Forehand, backhand, forehand. Tries to drag it around the right pad. And Dan Vladar down on his belly, pinning that left pad to the ice. Robs Brian Rust to keep it 3-2.
Rust with points in 6 out of his last 8 playoff games. He was held off the score sheet in games 2 and 3. 2 and 4 of this series. Trying to pick up his first point just a moment ago. Now the Penguins have it again. Flyers zone. Shea far point had some trouble with the puck as Karlsson had to retreat back to the neutral zone. Alex Bump takes it into the Penguin zone. Tied up into the boards. Forster towards the net. Couldn't fire off a shot. Takes it in behind the cage. Crosby will take it. Sends it over to Karlsson as we're a minute through this third period. Both teams getting a change here. Karlsson to Girard. Tees it down to the Flyers end. Bounces off the far corner. Rolls to the near one. Novak trying to get in front of Martone. Chinakhov fed Evgeny Malkin. Plays it down the near boards. And behind the net, it's scooped up by Andre, though. Worked up the far wall. Tumbled towards the blue line. Malkin kept it alive, but only got it to Konechny. Now Novak trying to take it away from Konechny. Chinakhov whiffed on a rim around. Now he takes it back. Far corner, leaves it for Malkin. He gets tripped down to the ice, and that's going to be a penalty.
Oh, boy, here you go. Here you go. Monster shift by the Novak, Malkin, Chinakhov line. It all started where it looked like the Flyers were all set. They were able to get a loose puck. Here's the call in my comments.
Philadelphia penalty number 36. 2-minute minor for tripping.
Flyers looked like they were all set. They were able to retrieve a puck, but there was a double clutch. I didn't see who it was, which Flyer it was, but Tommy Novak lifted his stick, stripped him off the puck. That's when they really went to work. Cycling down low, and eventually Chinakhov to Malkin. Malkin makes a move around Andre. Into the feet goes the stick, and off to the power play goes the Penguins.
Penguins 0 for 1 in the power play. They had it in the first period, and the Flyers quickly clear it down. Right on net to Artur Shilovs is the top unit out here with Erik Karlsson quarterbacking it. Sidney Crosby, Ricard Raquel, Brian Rust, and Evgeny Malkin. 15 seconds gone on the Penguins power play. We're early in the third. Penguins lead 3-2. Dumped into the Flyers zone, but it actually broke a stick, and it's cleared out to the neutral zone. Penguins have to reset. Karlsson back skating in his own zone. Takes it up the far side of the neutral zone. Leaves it back for Malkin. Cruises into the Flyers zone to Rust near wall. Down to the half boards, inside the circle. Pitched it back to Malkin, up the near boards. Got it to Crosby at the circle. Now back to Malkin. Now high slot Karlsson. To the far circle. He drags to Malkin, near circle. Karlsson again. Along the far half boards. Back to Malkin, near point. Down to the corner for Crosby at the goal line. Up to Malkin. Touch pass to Karlsson. He'll take it high slot. Slides it to Raquel, far circle. Penguins still looking for a shot on this power play. 55 seconds to go on it. Raquel, far circle. Plays it up to Karlsson. Faked a one-timer. Hangs on to it. Crosby near circle. Downstairs Malkin. Back to Sid. Hash marks. Up to Karlsson. High slot. To Crosby. Near circle. Down to Malkin. Up to Crosby. Even higher to Karlsson. Touch pass Raquel. One-timer saved by Vladar. A lot of passing going on for the Penguins. And Ricard Raquel's shot goes right into Dan Vladar. 34 seconds on the power play. 3-2 the Penguins lead in this third.
Well, a lot of pretty passing, but everything on the perimeter. And each player that was receiving a pass was thinking, who am I going to pass to next? That is a pass-first mentality, not a shot-first mentality. And if you're the Flyers penalty killers, knock yourself out. Pretty pass yourself to nothing. Need more shooters.
Well, the entire second unit is out on the ice now. Novak to take the draw against Dvorak. He's got Chinikov to his left, Mantha to his right. Puck tumbles in behind Vladar's net. Nick Seeler tees it down to the Penguin zone. Sheeloffs will stop it for Chris Letang. With Kindle, Novak, Chinikov, and Mantha out there for the Penguins. Kindle sends it rink wide to Novak, cruising into the Flyers zone, trying to get it to Mantha. Kindle's got it in the slot, drags, fires wide of the net. Long rebound to the near point. Letang fires it wide of the net. Goes over to the far half boards. Novak in behind the cage for Kindle. Trying to keep hold of it, spit it up the far side. We're down to 3 seconds on the Penguins' power play. Played up to the point. Chinikov is on the other side of the blue line. Out of the box is Andre. We're back to 5-on-5. Penguins 0 for 2 on the power play tonight. They lead 3-2 with 16:14 to go in this game. Trying to win Game 5, get back on a plane, head back to Philly for Game 6. Shovel down to the goal line. Vladar plays it up the wall. Lizotte chucked it over to the circle. Flyers couldn't clear it. Achari sends it deep. Lizotte cuts it off, got it back up to the point for Girard. He tried to shovel it up the boards. Tumbling to the circle. Achari takes it, swings it around the wall to the far side for Wotherspoon. He'll spin it back deep, in behind the net. Achari poked it to the far side, but it bounced over his stick. York couldn't clear it just yet. Dewar will chip it down to Achari, in behind the net. Drysdale takes it for Philly. Plays it up the far wall. It goes rolling out to the neutral zone. Sam Girard up ice, slings it down to the Flyers' end. Took a couple weird bounces, slowed down behind Vladar's net. Andre will take it and skate it up along the far side. Get it to Seeler. He's in the neutral zone. Slings it rink wide down to the far corner of the Penguin zone. Raquel cuts it off from Konechny, but Dvorak takes it away. Snaps it up high slot. Seeler had to paw it down. Wrister coming. Glove save by Sheeloffs. Read it the entire way. Keeps it 3-2 Penguins. Almost 5 minutes gone in this third.
Good job by the Penguins D to box out. That will be imperative here in the third period. As the Flyers like to go from low to high, their defensemen are pretty good at wristing pucks towards the cage with traffic, and that's the part right there. When you box out like that, that's a routine save for Artur Sheeloff. You throw 2 layers of screen, you're holding your breath.
We'll get a face-off to the right of Artur Sheeloff's. Ben Kindle's going to take the draw against Noah Cates. And the Penguins have it. Ryan Shea slings it up the far wall. Soderblom tried to poke it out to the neutral zone, sent back deep by Philly. Ryan Shea, though, plays it off the end boards, works it up the near wall, goes into the Flyers zone. Cates and Sanheim. Sanheim up ice to the neutral zone, slings it down to the Penguins' end. That'll be icing by the Flyers, though. 14:46 to go in the third. Penguins lead 3-2.
Well, when America needs a power play, EQT delivers. Fueling freedom, strengthening allies, and unleashing U.S. LNG, liquid natural gas from right here in Pittsburgh. EQT, unleashing America's energy future.
He's the old 2-9er, Phil Bourque. I'm Joe Brand. We're here in Pittsburgh for Game 5. Penguins are trying to hang on to a 3-2 lead, bring this series to Philly for Game 6. As Kindle to take the draw against Noah Cates. The Flyers win it, work it up the far wall, and it gets kicked out to center ice, but Carlson will feed it to Anthony Mantha. He patches it down to the Flyers' end near corner, rolls along the end boards. Ristolainen scoops it off the wall, got it to Dvorak. Out to the neutral zone to Sanheim, cruising over the Penguins line to the near point. Forster in the slot. Dvorak, far circle, shot goes wide. It was Alex Bump collecting a loose puck, looking for his second goal of the night in his first playoff game. Penguins cough it up in the neutral zone. Soderblom dished it right to Martone, who slung it down to the Penguin zone. It's played by Carlson. He got it to Wotherspoon, now ahead to Novak. Novak over the Flyers line, chips it down to the corner, tied up by Seeler, rolls along the end boards. Chinikov couldn't get a hold of it. It's rolled back up the near wall as Konechny will take it for Philly. He gets stripped of the puck by Malkin, though. Letang will send it rink wide to the far side. Novak drags it over the Flyers line. Malkin at the point to Letang on the near side. High slot. Wrister never got through. Dvorak takes the blocked puck up to the neutral zone. Sends it down to the Penguins' end. Rolls over to the far corner. Martone cuts it off, but lost it to Malkin. 13.5 to play in this hockey game. Penguins with a 3-2 lead over the Flyers in Game 5. Now up ahead to Dewar, cruising into the Flyers zone. Swatted away by Drysdale. Played it over to the corner and took a shoulder along the wall, but Lazat's got it. Plays it up. Wotherspoon, one-timer, didn't get all of it. Shanked it as the Flyers take it the other way. It's Zegras sliding it over to Tippett. Penguin zone. Curls around at the half boards. Pitches it down in behind the net. Achari Couldn't get hold of it in the near corner. Flyers work it up the wall, send it down. It's cut off, though, by Carlson. He'll shove it in behind Shilov's net. Played all the way out to the neutral zone, but Barkey cut it off. Went for a quick pass to tip it, but it jumped off the back of his skate. Penguins have it. Both teams get a change.
That's another thing that's important right now. Clean changes and short and hard. 30 to 40 seconds and roll them over.
Sean Couturier sends it down to the far corner. Long rebound is played by Crosby. He'll carry it to the Flyers zone. Try to snap a pass to Russ. This puck is deflected all the way up into the stands, about 5 rows back. And we will go to our first break of the third. 12:38 to go in regulation. Penguins with a 3-2 lead over the Flyers. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
SiriusXM puts you in the front row with the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks.
The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60. They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Head coach Mike McDonald joins actor and Seahawks fan Joel McHale for an exclusive conversation as Seattle gets ready to defend its title. The SiriusXM front row with the Seattle Seahawks. Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern on NFL Radio Channel 88 and anytime on the SiriusXM app.
Feel the pulse-pounding drama of the UEFA Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC. The stakes are raised as Europe's elite.
Fantastic start for PSG. The Flying Machine is on the roll again. Arsenal are running riot in North London.
Battle in a quest for club soccer's ultimate prize.
This is the place where dreams come true.
This is where legends are made. The Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
The Power Play with Steve Coolius.
Of all the players who were drafted in 2019, which player has scored the most goals in the fewest games? Cole Caulfield. Size does matter. You don't want a team of 5'9" defensemen. But scoring goals is the hardest thing to do in sports. And Cole Caulfield scores a lot of goals.
The Power Play with Steve Coolius. Weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Penguins are 12 minutes and 38 seconds away from heading back to Philadelphia, but they are making things tough. A 3-2 lead over the Philadelphia Flyers. Shots on goal in favor of the Pens, 19-15. We'll get a face-off to the right of Dan Vladar.
So far, so good for the Penguins. 7 minutes and 12 seconds into this third period. The Penguins up a goal. Just one shot for the Flyers so far this period.
And I think that was the easy shot from the near point.
Yes, sir.
Shilovs was able to read easily because of his defense. Crosby to take the draw, got it to Raquel. He'll sweep it down to the corner in the Flyers zone. Russ tied up into the boards, defended by Ristolainen. Keeps it pinned along the far corner board. Somebody lost a stick. And there's 2 Flyers and 2 Penguins dig after the puck. It squeaked out to the goal line. Raquel sweeps it up to Girard. Girard pumps it deep. It was Rust's stick, and then the dump in hit Rust in the knee. Crosby sets up Raquel. A shot saved by Vladar. The near corner, Crosby still being manhandled by Goaltending, able to get the pass to Raquel. Near corner, he'll pitch it off the end boards to Rust. Played up to Girard, far point. Had to play keep away, will send it deep, and behind the net, Raquel collects. Brings it over to the far side. Girard above the circle, snapped it to Letang, near point, back to Girard. He'll fire towards the net, fought off by Vladar. Hathaway collects at far corner. That gets crunched into the wall by Brian Rust. It's kicked out to Ristolainen. In behind the net for Sanheim. Penguins get a change.
Outstanding shift there by the Crosby line to win puck battles, go low to high. All 5 players on that shift touch the puck. Everything funneled towards the cage. Great chance for Raquel also.
Far circle, it's Alex Bump. His shot deflected, played off the end boards. Penguins couldn't clear it. Near corner, it's worked in behind the net. Soderblom will collect. Played ahead to Mantha, able to play keep away and gets it down to the Flyers end. That'll be icing, though, with 11:19 to go in regulation. Penguins lead 3-2.
Again, details. Little plays like that for Anthony Mantha, veteran guy, off the wall. I know he's on the backhand. It's a tough play on your backhand, but you got to find a way to at least get it out of the zone. Again, your blue line, everything out. Their blue line, everything in. Icings matter.
Face off to the right of Archer Shilovs. Dvorak against Kindle. Flyers win it. Drysdale near point. Brings it to the high slot. Over to the far side. Down to the circle for York. York takes it up the wall to Drysdale at the point. Wrister and Artur Shilovs with the save through all that traffic. 11:07 to go in this game. Penguins lead 3-2.
That's what I mean right there. So you went from full puck possession to a bit of an unforced icing against the Penguins, and the Flyers end up getting a good chance out of that icing call. So again, details. And now Dan Muse gets his dependable fourth line, the Blake Lizotte line out here.
It's quite a trusty trio he's got. Blake Lizotte, Connor Dewar, and Nola Chari. And Lizotte just won the draw. Erik Karlsson rims it along the boards. Nola Chari angles it down to the Flyers zone, but that'll be icing. Exactly 11 minutes to go in this game. Penguins lead 3-2.
So depending on which side this faceoff's on, that's the luxury that you have with Blake Lizotte, a left-hand shot, pretty steady faceoff guy. If it's on the right side, which it is here, you can go to Nola Chari's strong side. So Chari and Lizotte have a little chit-chat, and double nickels will take this one.
Against Dvorak. He wins it, or at least gets it over to the near boards. Karlsson will chuck it down to Parker Wotherspoon. Plays it ahead to Dewar, angles it down to the Flyers, and this is going to be icing again.
My goodness gracious, boys. You're just playing with fire. There's no need to ice the puck there. Connor Dewar takes a stretch pass after a 50-50 puck win off that faceoff by Erik Karlsson. He gets it, the Wotherspoon stretch pass to Dewar. You just got a execution, right? Better execution there. Now you've had your third defensive zone faceoff here in a row.
On the left side, so it'll be Lizotte. And he gets it to the end boards. That Wotherspoon will play along the far wall. Dewar ties up Trevor Zegras to allow Lizotte to get the puck over the Flyers line. Takes it down to the half boards, curls back, fires it on net. Never got past Achari. He can't fire off a shot as he was tied up by Andre, but now is saved by Vladar. 10:36 to go in this game. Penguins lead 3-2.
You had a little feeling there when that puck was kind of sitting right around the Penguins blue line that Dewar, Lizotte, and Achari said, enough of this. Enough of this. And they won the puck battle. They got it deep inside the Flyers zone. Little dribbler comes in on Dan Vladar. And now you have an offensive zone face-off, and out comes the Evgeny Malkin, Igor Chinakhov, and Tommy Novak line. Evgeny Malkin, no shots. Igor Chinakhov, no shots. This line had no shots last game.
Face-off goes to the near corner. Chinakhov comes away with it. Snaps it over to Gerard. Wrister coming, saved by Vladar. Rebound kicked over to the far corner. Rolled up the wall as Chinakhov cuts in front of Forster for the puck. Fighting after it along the boards. Had it for a moment. Now Malkin tries to poke it ahead, but Forster's able to shovel it out to the neutral zone. Letang knocked it down, played it ahead. It's kicked back the other way by Philly, but now quickly snapped to Igor Chinakhov, who slings it down to the Flyers' end. Played up the far wall by Malkin. Throws it off the end boards to the near side for Ristolainen. Turned over in the circle. Malkin can't get a hold of it. He was tied up by Sealer. Flyers bring it up to center ice now. Trevor Zegras will peel back into his own zone as the boos rain down here at PPG Paints Arena. Under 10 to play in regulation. Penguins lead 3-2. Tippett cruising in. Penguins zone. Wrister and a glove save by Artur Chilov. We'll go to a break. 9:43 left in this hockey game. Penguins with a 1-goal lead over the Flyers here in Game 5. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network presented by S&T Bank.
Ever dreamed about signing with the Penguins? Now you can. With the Penguins Power Play package from FNB, you can be a part of the team with a Pens branded debit card, cashback credit card, and personal checks. Plus, score exclusive rewards like discounts on tickets, Pens gear, and more. Sign with the Penguins at fnb-online.com/penguins. FNB, the official bank of the Pittsburgh Penguins. FNB, member FDIC, credit card subject to approval. See site for details.
Keeping your home warm in the winter and cold in the summer, Mitsubishi Electric is a top manufacturer of heating and air conditioner products. And they're hiring. To elevate your career in engineering, project management, product assembly, and more, visit meppi.com/careers.
As the largest and most experienced program in the region, UPMC Sports Medicine knows that injuries can happen to anyone. Whether you're a weekend athlete, a rising star, or even a seasoned pro, that's why we offer a complete range of services and experts to help treat and prevent sports-related injuries to get you back in the game. To make an appointment, visit upmcsportsmedicine.com. UPMC is the official healthcare provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Stay warm this winter with Glassmere Fuel Service, your MVP for heating oil and propane in Pittsburgh. Call 800-235-9054 or visit glassmere.com. Glassmere Fuel Service, keeping your home warm at a competitive price, season after season.
Penguins hockey is brought to you in part by Kent State University, transforming dreams into achievements.
Penguins still hanging on to a 1-goal lead. We've got 9:43 left in regulation. And a face-off in the Penguins zone where the Pens out shooting Philly 20-17. Crowd is standing, towels are twirling, and a face-off to the left of Artur Shilovs. And the captain, Sidney Crosby, against Noah Cates. It's worked over to the far corner. Is now loose below the circle along the end boards and behind the net. It's forced back to the near side by Cates. So played up to the point for York. High slot Drysdale over to the far point. Drysdale, wrister, never got through traffic. Puck over to the near half boards. Rush swept it deep, bounced off the back of the cage. Gerard played it ahead to the far side. It tumbled out of play. 9:16 to go in this game. 3-2, the Penguins lead.
Once again, Dan Muse is rolling his four lines here. Ilya Solovyov has not seen much ice here in the third, so Mike Stothers, assistant coach who runs the defenseman, is kind of going with 5D here down the stretch with a 1-goal lead. So we might see some different defense pairings. And we'll try to keep track of that as we tick her down.
Well, we've seen Ryan Shea get some work with Erik Karlsson in this third period. Penguins win this draw as Sam Girard looks to clear it. Got it out to the neutral zone, knocked down by Achari, but the Flyers quickly dump it back into the Penguins zone. Reaching into the final 9 minutes of this game, Penguins with a 3-2 lead over the Flyers. Worked up the near wall by Letang. Got it to center ice. Stewart chipped it ahead for Achari. He pokes it down to the near corner. Lazat boxing out for the puck along the end boards. It squeaked out to Konechny. He'll take it the other way for Philly. Konechny on the near side, slings it down to the Penguins' end. It's worked over to the far corner as Wotherspoon tried to chip it up the wall. Where's the puck? It's dragged over to the near side. Now in behind the net, Raquel couldn't keep it away from Martone. Up to the point for Drysdale. Drysdale dancing around Achari. And he'll send it deep. Bounces off the far board. Set up Konechny. Shot fired wide. Rebound to the near point. It's handled by York. He'll go down the blue line. Leave it for Drysdale. Above the circle. Wrister wide of the net. Played at the far boards by York. And a shot from Konechny got shanked. Raquel will clear it down.
No, that's a break for the Penguins there. The Flyers had something going on. And Konechny, who's done this a couple times in the series, we're going to have an icing here against Philly. As a forward, he kind of disappears. He goes way out to the neutral zone and then comes back down through the kind of the center point area and stays in the very high slot where a Penguins defenseman can't go all the way out and get him. And he's had a couple of really good looks from that very high slot area.
Reaching into the final 8 minutes of this game. Face off to the right of Dan Vladar. Crosby will take the draw against Trevor Zegras. Crosby wins it. Up to Girard, far point. Pumps one, deflected. Tumbled over to the near corner. York pokes at it up the wall. The Flyers will get it out to the neutral zone and go all the way down to the Penguins' end. Girard will race it down, keeping it away from Trevor Zegras. 7:45 to go in this game. Penguins lead 3-2. It's dumped down to the Flyers' end. Vladar out of his net to stop it. Left it for Ristolainen, and Girard cut it off at the far half wall. Couldn't get a hold of it, though. As the Flyers escape it out to Sanheim, near side, played ahead, looking for a stretch pass to tip it, but it was taken away by Letang. Now Malkin to Mantha in the Flyers zone. Tried to feed it to Novak. Alex Bump takes the puck out of midair, brings it the other way in the Penguin zone. Tip it far half wall towards the net for Bump. Never could connect. Shea plays it over to the end boards. Now gets to Carlson.
Anthony Mantha there. He had a chance of getting Malkin single lane drive. He tried the backdoor saucer pass. The puck goes up into the crowd here. We have a second to talk. But when you see Evgeny Malkin driving the center lane, he kind of entered the zone, pulled up about 10 feet inside the blue line. Just throw it right into the feet of Dan Vladar. Maybe it bounces off of Malkin. Maybe you get a lucky bounce. But when you try a much riskier cross-ice saucer pass, it got picked off by the Flyers, and it could have gone the other way.
7 minutes left in this game, and there's only been 6 shots on goal in this third period. 3 for each team. Face off at the near right dot. The Penguins are still working with this 3-2 advantage. Flyers win it. They bring it down to their own far corner, though. Andre works it away from Novak and got it to Sealer. Played up ahead to Dvorak. Cut off by Malkin. But out to the neutral zone it goes. Flyers have it. Andre will whiff on a dumping attempt, but still get it to Cates. He'll chip it down to the Penguins' end. We get a whistle blown here.
Offside here, Flyers. Again, all this disrupt, right? Active stick. Get in the way of guys. Never turn away from any checks. You might, and here, as you tick it down, the Flyers have been pretty buttoned up here compared to how games 1 and 2 went as far as shenanigans. But you still might have to take a punch in the face. You never know what the Flyers might try here. But ultimate discipline is demanded here by the Penguins down the stretch.
With 6:50 to go in Game 5. Nick Sealer slings it down to the Penguin zone, rolls over to the far corner. Shea shoveled it in behind Chilov's net. Carlson got it over to the far side. Soderblom only with a touch on it. Konechny pitched it up to Andre at the point. Rister coming. Kicked wide over to the far corner. Konechny with it in behind Chilov's net. Plays it up to Sealer above the circle. Drags. Got it poked away from Raquel, but Konechny takes it back. Slings it over to the far wall. Long rebound for Martone. He'll pitch it up the near wall now. All the way up to Sealer. Sealer spins it deep and behind the net for Martone. Works it to the near side. Went for a centering pass. Luckily, Carlson's skate got in the way. Raquel chips it out to the neutral zone.
Yeah, really good defensive play by Carlson to get it to us.
Now stolen by Soderblom. Kindle wrister fought off by Vladar. Long rebound to the far side. Achari's tried to send it deep. But the Flyers have it in behind their own net. Worked up the near wall. Letang gets there first, sends it deep, but Sealer cuts it off from Kindle. Played over to the corner, gets it past Achari. Under 6 to play here in Pittsburgh. Penguins with a 3-2 lead over the Flyers, trying to force Game 6 of this best-of-7 series. Cam York up ice to the neutral zone. Dumped down to the Penguins' end. It rolls to the near corner. Gerard pitched it back to Blake Lizotte. Chris Letang sends it ahead to Connor Dewar. Had some trouble with it in the neutral zone. Couldn't muscle it over the Flyers line. But now they will as Sam Gerard got it to Brian Rust. He'll chip it down to the far corner. 5:20 to go in this game. And behind the net, it's Drysdale. Played over to the far side for Cam York. Pitch back to Drysdale. He sends it ahead to Zegras. Near side of the neutral zone. Cuts over the Penguins line. Left it back for Tippett. Tippett down to the near circle. Turnaround shot. Never got all of it. Far circle, it's taken by Sanheim. Rister never got through traffic. Carlson's got it. He'll skate it up ice. Up to the neutral zone with under 5 to play. Over the Flyers line. Sends it towards the net. It's wide. Raquel, quick shot. Hit the side of the cage. Crosby in behind the net. Tried to poke at it. Played up the far wall. Tippett's got it. Will work it out to center ice for Sanheim. He'll dump it down to the Penguins' end. Just wide of the net. Bangs off the back of the cage. Raced after by Cates. But Carlson's able to keep it away from him. Played over to the far corner. Forster trying to keep it away from Wotherspoon. Pitches it up the far wall. Evgeny Malkin will tap it up to the blue line. Couldn't clear it out. And now a centering pass is taken by Carlson. He'll pitch it down to the Flyers, and that won't be icing. 4:20 to go in this game. Penguins lead by 1. Flyers bring it up to the neutral zone. It's poked away and taken by Ben Kindle. He'll feed it to Letang. Now to Kindle in the slot. Was pressured by Bump. Brings it over to the near side and luckily works it out to the neutral zone. Kicked back the other way by Philly, but Shea got to the loose puck. Sent it to Soderblom, who chips it down to the far corner of the Flyers' end. Drysdale couldn't clear it. Far circle. Kindle gets it to Soderblom. Rims it around the boards. Mantha cuts it off and behind the net. Swings it up to Letang. Near point. Rister Goes wide, over to the far corner. Forster plays it off the wall, clears it out to center ice, jumped off the stick of bump. Penguins trying to reset here with 3:40 to go in the game. Stretch pass ahead to Kindle. Flyers zone, pitch back to Soderblom, near half wall. Takes it down to the corner, curls around. He's pressured by Dvorak, still keeps the puck, swings it over to Kindle, far corner. Kindle up the wall. Outnumbered as the Flyers will take it to the neutral zone. They get it to Martone. Now ahead to Dvorak, out of his reach. Wotherspoon races after it, near corner of the Penguin zone. 3:15 to go in this hockey game. Penguins with a 3-2 lead. Outlet pass missed everyone. Tumbles down to the Flyers' end. If the Penguins do score in the final 5 minutes, you win a free Big Mac. Offer is valid 3 days after the Penguins score on the Big Mac attack. Just download your McDonald's app and claim your free Big Mac with a purchase of $1 or more. We've got less than 3 to play in Game 5. Penguins with a 3-2 lead. Vladar plays the dump in over to the far corner. It tumbles up the wall. Lizotte races after it, but Barkey comes away with it. As Connor Dewar had it in the neutral zone, couldn't feed it to Girard, but now he does snap it over to Chris Letang. Letang ahead into the Flyers zone, near corner, 2:40 to go in this game.
Tick, tick, tick. Everything out, everything in.
Cam York up ahead to Barkey as they start to rise to their feet here at PPG Paints Arena. It's dumped into the Penguin zone, around the boards and in behind Shilov's net. Poked over to the near corner. Brian Rust will take it off the boards and take his time with it up ice to the neutral zone. Rink-wide pass to Raquel. Shovels it down to the Flyers' end. 2:15 to go in this game. Crosby with a check on York into the far corner. Played up the far wall. Goes all the way out to the neutral zone. Shea's got it. Snapped over to Carlson in between the penalty boxes. He'll dump it in. 2:05 to go.
Watch for Vladar. If the Flyers get it in the Penguin zone, he's going.
There he goes to the Flyers bench. Forster near circle. Shot on net. Saved by Shilovs. Kicked over to the near wall. Sanheim plays it down to the corner. Empty net for Philly. 6-on-5 for the Flyers right now. 1:50 to go in the game. Sanheim high slot to the far point for Ristolainen. Back to Sanheim at the near point. Circle for Forster. Up to Sanheim. Now to Ristolainen. Down to the circle on the far side for Zegras. Curls around it. Ristolainen, high slot. Zegras, far point. 1:33 to go. Ristolainen, far point. Sanheim, near point. Back to Ristolainen. Pumps one. Pad save by Shilovs. Rebound to the near wall. Dug out by Dewar. Achari's got it. He tries to feed Lizotte, and he gets defended by Alex Bump. He couldn't get it to the empty net. 1:15 to go in the game. Penguins lead 3-2. Empty net for the Flyers as Bump takes it over the Penguins line. Carving through in the circle. Centering pass. Dvorak couldn't handle it. Girard works it over to the far corner. Letang rims it around the wall. It's on the stick of Sidney Crosby for the empty net. It hits the near post. Raquel gets the loose puck, works it over to the near side. We've got 55 seconds to go. Stretch pass to Martone. Wrister. Pad save Shilovs. Out to the neutral zone it goes. Flyers have it with 47 seconds to go. Teed down to the Penguins' end of the near corner. Chris Letang pumps it out to the Flyers' end, and it goes wide of the empty net to the far corner. Icing on the Penguins. 39.6 seconds to go. Penguins with a 3-2 lead.
You give me Sidney Crosby with the puck on his stick with a 1-goal lead and empty net. I'm betting all the money in Joe Brandt's pocket. That thing is going in the back of the net. Sid maybe rushed his shot just a little bit, and it goes off the outside of the post. And the Flyers will use their timeout. And a couple of huge saves by Archer Shilovs. He has just been dialed in here all night long. And one save he made was through multiple layers of traffic. He made the right pad save. Penguins have done a good job of anything that's close to a rebound and that circumference in front of Shilovs. The Penguins, for the most part, all night long have been there first.
Penguins had the only goal in the first period. They made it 2-0 early in the second. The Flyers tied things up in the second before Chris Letang fired a shot off of Dan Vladar that bounced off the back wall, bounced off the backside of Vladar, and got over the line. That's still the difference in this game. As 39.6 seconds is what is preventing the Penguins from Game 6 in Philly right now. Empty net for the Flyers. Face off to the right of Archer Shelovs. Christian Dvorak against Sidney Crosby.
False face off.
And Crosby swats this one down to the near corner. Letang hunts after it, shovels it over to the far side. Raquel will work it out to the neutral zone with 33 seconds. It's Crosby again, and it hits off the far post.
Oh, my goodness gracious. You've got to be kidding me.
25 seconds to go in the game. Zegras plays it up to the neutral zone to Dvorak. Down into the Penguin zone. A fluttering fly ball that Shelovs will leave to his left. Gerard gets it over to Dewar. He'll fork it down to the Flyers' end. Puck on edge towards the empty net. It's wide on the far side with 9.9 seconds to go.
It's not supposed to be easy. And now, everybody, and I mean everybody at PPG Paints Arena on their feet, towels waving. Incredible atmosphere here.
Sidney Crosby and Chris Letang have each been out there for 1:09. And right now the Flyers have 7 guys on the ice. So Noah Cates will go back to the bench. 9.9 seconds. The Penguins are trying to get back to Philly. Drop of the puck. Crosby rims it over to the near corner. Played by Dvorak. Tumbled in behind the net. 5 seconds to go. Work to the near side. Sam Girard with it. Along the boards. 2 seconds. 1. It's a good thing. It's a short flight back to Philly. The Penguins can't wait to get to Game 6.
Travis Konecny just absolutely drilled a Penguin from behind. Way after the buzzer. Just as rotten, as dirty as you can be. From behind, Konecny just drilled a Penguin. And it was Sid. He came behind Sidney Crosby with a cross check and just reefed him from behind, launching Sid face first into the boards. I like dirty hockey. And the dirtier, the better in the playoffs, but that